Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom, and welcome to everyone who's watching over at the Wisdom Gaming Studios in Mall of America at the watch party. I hope you're all cheering along, having a great time, and eating some delicious pizza that I was tweeted at yesterday all day about, and I'm so very sad that I didn't get any. But someone very special did reach out and then hooked me up with a pizza for later today, so I'm excited about it. Justin, what'd you get up to on your break, my friend?
Well, walked around, got some springy pets in. She was just chilling in the hallway, so gave her some pets. You know, we exchanged high fives, and then I went and got a snack.
What was your snack? I gotta know.
I got a. It's like a protein bar type thing. It's not exciting. It's like
healthy. Oh,
that
sounds healthy.
Yeah, I was a little crunched for time. I didn't have quite the sandwich making time that I had yesterday, so had to work with what I had, you know. And springy cuddles cut into the break time a bit, but that's okay.
That's fair, yeah. I had to check around the house to see if the neighbor's dog had messed up anything else around the house, and yes, of course there are pillows just strewn everywhere, and he's just creating a mess because I don't know, that's just what Copper does. So he's a good dog overall, but he's a weird dog for sure. So we are getting ready for our next best of 5 of the day. At the bottom of your screen you can see that we are going to get to Wildheart Esports up against Diamond Hands. This will be a really fun matchup between the two, and I also want to point out and stress that this is a tournament life matchup. We are here in the lower bracket to determine who will take 4th place and who will move on to go up against Oxygen Esports tomorrow morning in another best of 5. And it's going to be some exciting stuff. But before we get into anything about this series, I want to go ahead and, we got a special little video for all of you at home and everyone at the Wisdom Gaming Studio. Look at this! Look at this! We got our watch party over here at the Wisdom Gaming Studio. This just looks absolutely fantastic. God, I gotta say, Justin.
Yeah, it looks nice. It looks cozy. I like the lighting. It's optimal gamer hangout.
You can't have static color lighting. You gotta change it from like red to blue to green, then maybe back to red or something like that. But either way,
looks like they're living in my PC over there.
Yeah. They're living in a Corsair keyboard right there. But let's go ahead and talk about Ball Street really quickly, because it's up to you to get the best picks for the winning team live as you're watching on cclmarkets.com. It's free. If you pick wrong, you can sell your shares and buy the other team before the match is over. CCL markets trade from 0 to 100, with shares of the winning team valuing at 100 and shares of the losing team expiring at 0. Did you know, Justin, that there's tons of prizes this season?
Yeah,
Did you?
I knew that, yeah.
Oh, okay. So every single person in Twitch chat should join and play during every HeroesCCL broadcast. Thank you again to Ball Street for joining us for HeroesCCL Season 4. And with that, we are going to continue to get ready for our next best of 5 of the day of Wildheart versus Diamond Hands. I'm looking forward to this one because it's the culmination of our bracket in the sense of someone's going home. Someone is going to take 4th place at the end of this best of 5. And who will it be? Is it going to be Wildheart? Is it going to be Diamond Hands? Both of the teams played so very well in their series in previous weeks as well as yesterday as well. So I'm excited to see how things will be working out. And now that we've got our Grubby back in the mix, Grubby, I got to ask you as well, how are you doing? How was your break? And did you happen to see that wonderful Wisdom Gaming Studio?
I saw. Looked really nice. Too bad that I didn't get to see that. Maybe some time soon / later. But nice that people are having a good time here, just as we are here on Twitch chat.
In the future, I hope the 3 of us can go there together, get some pizza, maybe some burgers, and we will wear our Hawaiian shirts. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Grubby. You're reading my mind. We are the Cho'Gall trio, if you will. Just add another little head. We're a Hydra. There we go. We're the Grubby Hydra emote. But let's talk about some HeroesCCL. Let's talk about some rosters. Let's go ahead and take a look at Wildheart roster.
Our team is very much focused on improving and fine-tuning our play, but at the same time, we're also keeping it loose. We've got a great group of guys, and not just the players, but also everyone else involved. It's probably not controversial to say 30k is the team to be at this point, so it'll be a very exciting challenge if we get the chance to try to take them down.
And Justin, I think you're the perfect person to break down the Wildheart Esports roster here because, well, you may or may not have played with these players like once or twice.
I'm pretty familiar with some of these players. We've got Haben, the tank for the team, who replaced the tank for the team, who replaced me. He's the one Korean player on the team. He just controls brushes very well, and he's always eager for engages. You hear him in the comms, always just wanting to fight. That's something that we heard from Zergling, that they need to kind of reel him back in because he's always just trying to fight constantly. He's super aggressive. IB Tings, the kind of calming voice that we hear so often when we jump into their comms. Just a really solid ranged player alongside Mason Blaze, the other ranged flex for the team. IB Tings, Mason Blaze combined to be just such a strong backline duo together. Weary Day, the support for the team. He is the best Uther we have, and he plays a lot of things like that a lot of other supports maybe aren't as comfortable with. And Zergling, the main shot caller for the team in general, the more macro-focused player, the offlane for the team, kind of the rock that's been there since the beginning. And Roger, the 6th member, the substitute for the team. Wildheart, one of the potential dark horses to be able to have a chance in the grand finals.
Oh, a very strong roster on Wildheart, but of course, let's go ahead and take a look over at Diamond Hands.
The absolute only thing that I've ever liked about my team is that everyone is very funny and fun to hang out with. Notori is like one of the funniest people I've met like playing this game. Even if we're going like 0-4 in a block, it's pretty easy to just forget about it and, you know, have some yucks with the boys.
And this will be our Diamond Hands roster here. If Grubby, you could break it on down for the families, friends, and everyone at home.
The only thing he likes about them is that they're funny. Well,
I saw that, yeah.
at least they've got that. Rutso is in NA right now despite being Danish, so he has a little bit of a better ping, just like the rest of them. So NA team right now, go NA. Nintori, apparently a great morale booster when the team is behind, which is great. Caesar Salad Heavy, yeah boy, Rutso and Nintori, they're a fantastic team. The most special wildcard here is Rutso, who will play things like Sylvanas E, he'll play things like Zarya, which pretty much no one else looks at, Tracer, and then a bunch of standard backliners as well. I also love Caesar Salad's tanking. I think it's really, really solid. He loves himself some Diablo, but plays a wide variety of different tanks, obviously.
Two amazing rosters between Wildheart Esports and Diamond Hands, and this is, as I mentioned, this is a critical matchup for both these teams. Winner moves on to go up against Oxygen Esports tomorrow in a best-of-5. Loser will take 4th place, and that'll be the end of their HeroesCCL Season 4 run. But of course, we gotta talk about a lot of things before we get into the actual draft, like the map right now, and we'll find out where we're going to for map number 1, as we've got all the picks and bans happening. I guess you could say pick and ban, as we have Diamond Hands taking us to Sky Temple. Wildheart Esports will have first pick priority, banning out Garden of Terror, and we will also see Towers of Doom banned out by Diamond Hands. Really quickly, stat, just for anyone who's wondering, and Justing and Grubby as well, when we look at Sky Temple for Wildheart Esports, they're going to have a 3-4 map record on this. Diamond Hands, a 4-1 map record, Justing. Members of Diamond Hands, starting things out with a comfort map, if you will.
Yep, Diamond Hands also, I do recall having the double support comp on this map where they just barely ended the game. They had some really clever macro here. They've done that before. So while Wildheart kind of typically has been doing good with the macro, Diamond Hands really favors this map and seems to have a very, very strong grasp on it.
It's a very large map, Grubby, as well, where there's major macro decisions to be made, but also micro decisions as well when it comes to the team fighting around singular objective phases, or even do you give an objective phase and split push? Like, how are you going to play these moments? And even the draft as well. Do you look at a ton of globals like Dahaka, Falstad, Brightwing?
I think Diamond Hands will. I think Diamond Hands has been picking quite a lot of Sky Temple, actually, as they have found both their strength and their weakness. They're really good at rotational play and macro play, and they're also really good at battles, but not as good as some of the top teams sometimes. I think they felt that they keep getting ahead on macro, on pressing buttons in different places, puppet mastering, and then sometimes they could fall apart in a 20-level team fight. So they're going to try to win by the map again, #play the map. Sky Temple, routinely a map where there's fewer than 10 or 5 kills as the game ends, because the tempo goes straight to core eventually. Games typically never go 30 minutes here because there's just too much lasers and too many things that can be molten by lasers.
What I do love is also the draft change-up that we're having between these two teams. So when we were looking at the previous best of 5 of 30K versus Oxygen Esports, Justin, we saw so much Sergeant Hammer ban, a lot of Chromians and stuff like that. And here we're getting some different stuff. Some Stukov, Joanna, Brightwing, Lucio, a lot of healers to be banned out.
Yep, 3 healers banned out off the bat. The heavy target ban with the Stukov. Yep. Instant pickup onto Sylvanas, Sergeant Hammer going through the first bans, Diablo also going through the first bans. It's weird to see Diablo go from permabanned in our series yesterday of Diamond Hands to now being let through, and in the previous series not even picked in a lot of the drafts. Very weird how quickly the priorities have shifted here. But Sergeant Hammer and Diablo are both available. Junkrat is also still available. A lot of just powerful things that typically are banned away, and they forego all of it, so the draft strategy is just very specific to each team at this point. It feels like each team kind of developing its own draft priorities by now in the season.
I'm trying to remember. So I think Haben does have a very good Muradin, as we've seen, a pretty good Anubrak, and I think he's got a Diablo in his repertoire as well. But I don't think he brings that out as often as the Anubrak and the Muradin. But let's see what we get here in our next 2 pickups before the next ban phase. There's the Diablo. I like this a lot, Grubby. I really like what Wildhearts drafted at the start.
Yeah, really, really strong opener so far. You've got push via Blaze and Sylvanas, an unkillable tank that requires a Tychus, Leo, or Malthael or Thrall to take him down. One of those I expect to be the ban. It's not going to be Malthael. Leoric, maybe. Leoric is pretty good into Blaze and Diablo. And then there is, of course, the Thrall, which can be used on the 4-man, which would mean triple frontline by Diamond Hands. Not really what I would expect Diamond Hands to do. I think Diamond Hands is thinking in macro, and triple frontline is a bit more brawly. It's going to be an Anduin ban.
I was wondering actually if Wildheart would consider a Zarya ban, as Rutso is really, really good on the Zarya and is playing at extremely low ping or, central ping. So that's the one thing that it's just like looming in the back of my mind. It's like Cure's Zeratul. It's Rutso's the one person that's always proven that's like, all right, if I get Zarya, it's pretty much GG at that point. And we'll see if that will be the pickup here. But of course, we get 2 more picks, and I want to get Justin's thoughts because there's the Uther and a Greymane. Very good aggression from Diamond Hands with their 4 picks here.
Yeah, very strange to take the Uther this early, so they want to flex their last pick. They're they're threatening double support without committing to it as well.
Oh. You don't think it's going to be Abathur? This looks so Abathur to me.
It could be. It's a lot of pressure on the Greymane to exist, but they do have good setup for it. A lot will probably depend on what Wildheart's last pick is, so they do take the Uther, which can flex into either double support, solo support. They could even go into the weird Abathur comp. Wildheart's comp with their last 2 picks looks just very standard, but quite strong. They have the Diablo Thrall combo, which is kind of an iconic duo of heroes. Blaze alongside that, just to set up even more easy CC for the Diablo and Thrall, just be able to kind of outrange them with the oil to lock people down. Right now, what Wildheart has looks very good. It looks very well-rounded. Whereas Diamond Hand's composition, depending on what their last pick is, it's double support. I hate this completely. I don't like the Diamond Hands draft at all. Typically in double support, typically you want to have like 1 support who's designed to save people, which is what the Uther does, and 1 support who has good sustain. Both of these supports are kind of sit in the same category to me, where they're both kind of like Uthers, where they both have sustain. Karazim does deal a lot of damage. You do have the option to go the Insight and to just punch the shrines and be left alone to stack Insight, which on this map it's easier to do than any of the other maps because of that. Because you can just leave him on one of the temples and he can just punch away and get all of his stacks so he can complete his quest. So there's the possibility for that, but I'm assuming it'll be damage. I'm expecting to be punchy fists. It does give them the 7-sided strike into the Diablo, so they have the potential to go for something like a D-Storm Curse Bullet 7s and just one-shot Diablo on cooldown. That is a possibility, but they do have the Ancestral to counter that. They have the Cleanse to counter it. They have the Blaze Bunker, which should also help to counter it. And Thrall into all these melees seems fine. Diablo loves being against all these melees. Outside of that % damage against him, he should feel very safe. Blaze likes to be against all the melees, even Rhaegar does. So I think Wildheart's composition looks quite a bit better, and I'll be surprised if Diamond Hands can make this work.
Well, thank you, Justin, for the analysis, and I'm actually going to absolutely agree with you. I like the Wild Heart draft, and I'm going to lean into them for a victory. But let's go ahead and introduce these teams, and of course we'll get Grubby's thoughts as well, because we got Wild Heart in the blue, Zergling on the Blaze, Haben on the Diablo, Weary Day to play the Rhaegar, Ivy Tings will play the Sylvanas, and Mason Blaze on the Thrall. To the side of Diamond Hands, investing in a double support composition, double healer composition, Nintori on the Uther, Hebi on the Karazim, yeah boy, on the Hogger, Caesar Salad on the Muradin, and Rutso to play the Greymane. We do have our start here, we got our level 1s, we do have that Hammer the Lightbringer for Uther, I do want to point out, but of course, Grubby, I've given my thoughts on this, Justin's given his thoughts, gotta get your thoughts on the draft, or even Sky Temple potential for either of these teams.
It's a cursed bullet, 7-sided strike, blow-up composition that's mostly melee. Very aggressive, very brawly. They're going to try to kill a Thrall, they're going to try to kill a Diablo, and they're going to try to have that happen before whichever target they go for can get into a bunker. I'm hoping it's going to be Earth Ally from Karazim, which will give them the burst protection alongside whatever Uther brings in. And if that happens, then I think the sky's the limit. But let's make no mistake. Diamond Hands' comp is a lot more difficult to play. And considering they are the slightly lower ranked team, I would say that probably Wildheart is having the advantage here in this matchup. I'd say they're favored, but it is possible for Diamond Hands. If they can get together and do good synergy with this composition, they could kill some and then get some good damage in on forts.
Let me put you a little bit on the spot here, Grubby. What are you thinking, like a 60-40 sort of thing? Like 60% for Wildheart to win?
Yeah, I think 65 even, probably.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's probably like 2-to-1 odds.
Okay.
But again, you know, there is a chance.
Yeah. Just, I was just curious what you were thinking about, you know, how you're kind of split on that one. So, and I'm very much with you on that. I do think that Wildheart has a fantastic draft. I think they have good execution, but there is and are factors of Diamond Hands as the game does progress of one-shotting people. We actually have Uther going into Holy Fire at level 4. Typically, it's the Pursuit of Justice for the movement speed when you stun someone with the Hammer of Justice, but either way, Rhaegar goes down. First blood for Diamond Hands as they've got sieging through top lane. This is fantastic for Diamond Hands so long as they can back away and they don't lose anyone, and they easily will be able to do so.
Yeah, nice Stormbolt there from Caesar Salad started it all off. Yeah, I guess it's just a Sky Temple thing. You need loads of wave clear here, and you've got double support, so you get the Holy Fire. It is damage as well, and it's a little bit of hero damage, right? Like
16 damage per second. Yeah.
Yeah, but it goes up if you stun someone. If you auto attack them.
Oh wait, hold on. That's a Diablo stun. Cleanse out from the Rhaegar with the Purge. We'll see if he picks up the level 7 as well when we get to that point. Heavy getting very low here. Gets bit on the butt by Weary Day, who is immediately has to back off. Caesar Cell, Dwarf tosses in, and he is actually going to go Sledgehammer at level 4. I gotta be honest. I used to be such a big proponent for. I used to love Sledgehammer, and I've moved so far away from it at this point. I really think that just Reverberation at level 4, just to get the cooldown reduction on your heroic by 5% later on, is just so much more impactful as well. Because this is a good siege tool. This is like Sledgehammer. It's great for like Battlefield of Eternity, but I just feel like having that Thunderclap cooldown reduction for your heroic, especially with Karazim, Uther, Greymane, all of you diving in together and you're grouping up the enemy, I think you can get a lot of cooldown. But anyways, that's all. Yeah, we can talk about that more in the future because it's 7s apiece first objective phase, and Yaboy and Zergling have been just in this eternal fight back and forth, neither one really winning out, just kind of getting each other low and then backing off.
Buffing that hero damage statistic. Uther is standing on the mid frame, Nintori is going to be channeling all of those lasers. It's going to be about a 40% forward. 70% on Diamond Hands' side in the top forward. That's 50% in the middle. Okay, so a pretty even early game at this time.
Look at the level 4 for the Thrall. I like this adaptation, actually. It's Feral Resilience. Heroes damaged by Feral Spirit grant 4 stacks of Frostwolf Resilience and 2 stacks of Feral Resilience as Blaze goes down in the bottom lane. But this is the last thing I wanted to also note. Granting 75 physical armor against the next incoming hero basic attacks. So these are really, really good for all the auto attacks coming in from the enemy. But Haben, Haven's got that spell armor from level 1, and it's not going to be enough. Diablo goes down. 3 kills in totality from the side of Diamond Hands. They may take some more damage on this top lane fort from Ivy Tings, but it's still Diamond Hands in the driver's seat as they find a 4th kill onto Weary Day. My doubt onto Wildheart, or my doubt onto Diamond Hands composition is fading quite quickly.
Seeing is believing, in it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go immediately for boss. 9 seconds
I like
on
that
regular.
call, yeah.
Yeah. I remember, I distinctly remember during HCC times, if you got level 10 versus 9, which we are at, and the boss is up, and you are there, you take it. And it always worked. I feel like now it would have worked as well.
Oh, especially with the heroics that were picked up, Divine Shield, Hortipult, 7-sided, Avatar, Curse Bullet. These are all great tools to even deter Wildheart from wanting to step up in this moment. Blazing still in the top lane, and there, yeah, you called it, Grubby. Beautiful call.
It's a bit late.
It's late, but they should get it right.
No, level 10 is reached by Wildheart. This is about 20 seconds late. It's risky, but I'm glad to see that they are still going for it. No level 10 yet. It's so close though. Yeah, I feel like there was probably a 10-20 second delay in what that should have been. But still they get it, and this is the most ahead we've seen the team be on Sky Temple in the entire weekend so far, and probably for several weeks.
Here's the also factor that I want to point out. Bottom lane objective will shoot the bottom lane, of course, first, and then it will work its way up across the map. So with the boss already pushing in through bottom, these shots only are amplified, or the boss is only amplified by the objective, or vice versa, however you want to say it. This should be a double fort phase. And I'm looking really quickly in top to see the gate is still up, but I don't, oh wait, hold on, Caesar Salad actually has to leave. So mid lane fort will be saved by Haben and crew who are stepping in. And actually, a camp was grabbed during all of this, a little bit split on the side of Diamond Hands. I would have liked to see them all rotate down to this bottom and control the bottom lane objective, but that's not the case. We'll see Greymane, Uther push up top, and Caesar Salad a ward in the rotation from mid or bottom to mid.
Hogger is going to one-on-one Diablo. Meantime, fight in the top. Hogger trying to push Diablo off. He gets the final few shots. That should actually get mid forward. Nice job for Diamond Hands to get that back.
Oh, yeah,
defense
nice.
is here for Wildheart. They get a wailing arrow on 3 members.
Sundering as well to follow up. Very nice.
I remember Sylvanas and Gul'dan used to be some of the top picks. Remember when double support was 100% the meta? Like 4 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Always double support. Most people hated it. I was one of the few masochists that loved it. But either way, it was always about how do you stop double support? How do you stop double support? And it was always AoE silence. Sylvanas wailing, Gul'dan horrify, and Void Prison to a degree. Those were the ways to deal with it. And you saw that there. A triple nice kill on Diablo. Wrong side of town. They took him to the underworld.
Oh my god, just in a moment's notice, just absolutely shredded right there. Just not as explosive as Hazuhab's dying in mid lane in that last game, but still, that it was still just seemingly a singular strike to take down Diablo.
Yeah, that was a big deletion, and I would say Diamond Hands needs to take this fort down. You look at Blaze showing bot, and you're 5 versus 3.
And 13.
100% you want this fort. Wait, oh no, never mind. Diablo's back, of course. It's 5 versus 4, yeah.
But still, you also have the 13 talent to your advantage, so I can see why absolutely they should be pushing in. They're waiting for a wave on the side of Diamond Hands to potentially step in once again. Actually, that's not correct at all because Muradin's rotating down to bottom. He might be able to invade onto this camp, gets the Dwarf Toss in. Stormbolt will be there, but here comes Thrall. Caesar Salad actually, wow, he yoinks it.
Yeah, so what was happening is they're looking 5v4 and they've got 13 talents, but the Bruiser camp provided a lot of clutter. And the fort was still so healthy, and all 4 of Wildheart were there. And then when Blaze, oh my god, not again.
No, Diablo! Not like this! Wailing, Sundering, things are maybe turned around. Hortipult in from, yeah, boys! He's going to be going in with the Hortipult, as well as that Hog Wild. Blaze gets hit, Blaze gets the Jet Propulsion, but that actually worked out for the side of Diamond Hands, because that kept Blaze and Thrall, kind of body blocked a little bit right there from that. So it's going to be 3 kills in quick succession. I don't think they find Ivy here, but this will be Diamond Hands jumping to 2 objectives. I know they just got 3 kills. Do you want to hear how they're kind of getting along on the side of Diamond Hands?
Yeah, sure. Let's jump in.
I don't want to sit on bot.
I sit.
I'm gonna go easy.
Sure. Mid's the danger point. You can help Mentori get
I'll mid
up.
heavy. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll need you
Yeah,
here.
you're right, you're right.
Yeah, they're me.
No, you did. So,
Blaze is still dead. We can look one more.
I'm here.
No, I'm not. Oh yeah, 4v4 for like 10
Hey,
seconds.
hey,
It's not
just
good.
on. I'm hitting
Okay, I'm
him.
getting mid to 16 instead.
I have 7s.
Just straight. Don't die. There's no
Oh,
point.
Yeah, we're winning the map, so
Yeah. And they have to answer bot eventually.
can we look here on the rotation?
Looking here,
Maybe they
yeah,
come
yeah,
back. Like right here.
Yeah.
Blaze is top as well. This is a good fight. We're
Yeah,
having this close.
4v4. You guys have
Lemon Tory
4v4.
first.
They're not.
There is
Sure.
one point. Yeah.
It's
Maybe one takes the
intelligent.
ball wave.
Oh,
Did you see you?
I'm gonna grab that empty.
I'm pushing mid. I'm pushing mid.
Okay.
I'm grabbing eye. I'm grabbing eye.
Yeah, you can
Boston
go.
15.
I want to show.
Kind of baiting a little bit.
I just hear Hebby towards the end of that. Just, hey Ben, I'm coming for you. Oh god. Sounds like Diamond Hands. They're that's, of course, it's the team. They're ahead by a solid 2 levels at this point. Of course, they're going to be having some pretty positive comms. Just wanted to hear how they were kind of playing and setting things up, because you actually heard in the comms they wanted to set up some sort of gank like they have been in the rotation towards bottom, but Wildheart a little wise to it. Murden gets the dwarf toss in, and this engagement pops. The Avatar dropping a little low here. Wailing arrow from Sylvanas does come through. Caesar Salad down to about 25% of his HP. Is going to be able to not actually able to tap the well. 7-sided strike used by the Karazim, and surprisingly, Diamond Hands doesn't find a kill here.
Yeah, and I don't know why they're letting them get away. Although maybe they're not.
Maybe they're
not. He's got the burning loot horde. He's trying to spin away. 190 health. There's the sundering, lightning breath, and ancestral healing as well. That's every single heroic for Wildheart here. And Diamond Hand still has Hordepult. They still have D-Shields. Cursed Bullets is back. What do you think? Do you try to cheese the boss here? You got 20 seconds. You've got Bruiser Camp top. I think you try to go for the boss.
I mean, the 16 talent here is like right here. Oh, is it another gank onto, not even gank, but is it just another kill attempt onto Haben? No, it's not. Okay, and then there's the trickle in experience for 16. I think actually you're right, Grubby. I think it's another boss call because there's top lane pressure.
Yeah.
I feel like
I think
Diamond
they
Hands could
needed
just
more.
go for it.
You see them waste every single heroic. You need more. They're just like kind of floating. Okay, there's temples. They're gonna play it exceedingly safe, right? They're letting Bruiser Camp clear for free. They're letting Bruiser Camp taken for free, and bottom kind of pushed out. But still, Diamond. Oh, okay. And there's no info,
This is
right? Look at
cool,
the
yeah.
Look at mid
Yeah.
and bot lane. There's 0 info for Wildheart. For all they know. Everyone was here. This is actually really smart.
I absolutely agree. And the reason that this is so smart is because Temple shots, it's not like Towers of Doom or Cursed Hollow or any of those maps where you channel some of these objective areas where there's global vision around it. There's no vision until you arrive at these temples. So, as Grubby was saying, the assumption is that there's a bunch of Diamond Hands member in this top lane. Hogger will go down, but that does mean the boss is pushing up bottom, Greymane's pushing up mid, Karazim's getting a camp. I still think this is okay for the side of Diamond Hands because they're still getting massive. They're going to get a keep in bottom lane, whereas Wildheart gets what? A kill, some experience, and some damage under a keep front gate.
Does the boss get any core HP? I would
If it's only
imagine a
throw
bit.
Regate, yeah, if with only these two clearing, maybe I'm going to say 6%. What about you, Grubby?
2%.
2%? Okay, all right.
0.
Wait a minute.
Wait, Rhaegar left. 2. Come on, 3. 3%.
I think you win. By Price is Right rules, I do believe you win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were the closer one.
But it's only because Rhaegar left, though. Otherwise, we would have both lost.
Oh, true, and then we would have owed Twitch chat hundreds of subs.
It'd be so embarrassing. Luckily, it didn't happen. Yeah.
Good thing for us. Half a level to level 20 for the side of Diamond Hands, and Caesar Salad trying to get the vision for the center. That's going to be a big setup onto Diablo. He's got 86 souls, so if he dies right here, he won't get the respawn instantaneously, as he needs 100, which only consumes 75 post 10. But bottom lane is consistent catapults pushing up, and Haben and friends, they want a pre-20 fight, and Diamond Hands will not give it.
This knock-knock joke has no answer from Diamond Hands and no follow-up from Wildheart. It's level 20. Now they're ready. This is Sundering behind tower. Really hard to follow up on. There's a bunker. 100% Diamond Hands needs to chase and get some results here.
Good flank in from the Murden with that Stormbolt to set things up. That's going to be a bounce from Hogger. He does not have the no control from level 20. Uther does go down. Does he have the level 20? He does. He'll respawn in a second. Diablo goes down. Souls will be consumed. He's back in a second. Rhaegar's out for the next 56. Boss isn't up for another 2 minutes and 47 seconds as we potentially have a kill through mid. 7-sided strike from the Karazim. And youch. Youch right there. Heavy. Just punching his way through this game. I am curious to see the Karazim heroic damage by comparison. Only 22,000. Greymane actually with 40,000 heroic damage. Sylvanas on the opposing side with about 39,000. So really good play, but right now, double temple phase. I'm trying to look and see what the structures are looking like. I don't think this ends game. It should confirm 2 keeps, though.
Yeah,
at the bare
I'm
minimum.
checking. It's like 1,700 damage per double shot. There's this many. Yeah, I don't think it gets double keep. I think there's going to be like 2,000 health left.
Ooh, okay. And 8 seconds on Rhaegar, 21 on Thrall, and Wildheart, they're stepping into this. I don't like this at all. Yeah, boy goes in with the deep Hortapult. He actually cancels his bounce around, or his Hog Wild a little early right there to try and get the staggering blow. We still have shots from bottom from Uther coming out. Quickly going to check. His redemption is going to be up in a minute. Yes! Yes! I am amazing! I called it!
And how many percent on the core? I'm going to say 0 extra.
Yeah. Some scratching on the shielding, and that's about it.
Wow, 3 keeps down. Wildheart is in such a bad spot right now. Boss is 130 out. Do you know how long it is till the next objective announcement?
Ooh, I don't actually,
It's
off the
3
top of my
minutes,
head.
isn't it?
I think it's 2 minute 30 to the announcement. Yeah, 3 minutes to congestion. So it's probably somewhere in the 19-minute range for the game, in-game timer. But
So boss becomes the first contention point. Oh, that was a weird interaction. He's like,
Yeah.
get your ass back in here. Muradin, Caesar salad.
that's a great Sundering to set up the kill into Murden, who's going to be dead for the next 62 seconds. Yeah, boy, getting the Hortapult out. As I mentioned, he does have the secret stash level 20. And yeah, boy, does he have a good spin to disengage? He's going to look for it here. Ooh, that's not the best. Diablo's going to be right next to him, staggering blow, buys a window. And here's the Hellgate forward. Karazim, he's got those dashes. Uther still behind. Uther with 46 seconds left on his level 20 redemption cooldown. It's a 3-minute cooldown from when he does die.
Oh, that was some nice cleanse saves by Karazim there. And now they're just going to set up for boss. They have... Wait. There's a 3-second murder death timer the moment the boss shows up. That's a pretty sharp timing to hit, Bahamut.
I'm just... Sorry, it caught me off guard. I looked at the 20s of Diamond Hands. I just didn't realize that there was 3 blinks coming out from Diamond Hands. It just threw me off for a second with just all of the maneuverability from them.
Blaze with burn notice again?
Oh no! Oh no!
Wow, that's circling. He found something out. This is the second time he's doing it. This is not a coincidence anymore. So we're in a situation where you kind of ignore boss. So what if Wildheart just... No, they can't go core. They have to fight for temple. So here's how you play as Diamond Hands. Uther goes to the core. Greymane goes to the core. You split 2-1 on the temples. That's what you do.
First bullet, Diamond... excuse me, 7-sided strike onto... Oh no! The Ancestral meant for Haben, and it goes onto Weary Day!
Oops.
Oh, weird. There's top lane shots are ending. Blaze is going to try and delay that out. We do have Diablo starting to back off, and Caesar Salad will regain mid control. Nintori with the double stun onto Ivy Tings as we have Hogger to go down in the top lane. Thrall was up there. Nintori, Greymane, they're doing exactly what you're saying, but it's off the back of already a decent 37% off this core. Thrall back, trying to help out here. We have boss through bottom. If this is flubbed on the side of Diamond Hands, it's not going to be. Never mind. I was gonna say if they flub it, then it's ooh, we'll go to the other side, we'll win. But
it should be impossible to flub it. Like even if you're a professional flubber, you would not flub here. Like you would take an off day. Uther Grant.
I can say this. I'll dig on my own self. I would find a way to mess that up. I'm sure I would be able to find a way to mess it up.
You would be unflubbable, Bahamut. I believe in you.
I'm the flubbist, I guess you could say. We got Justin back in the mix to break down everything from this map. I do want to point out one cool stat really quickly. Thrall and Sylvanas had like less than 400 difference in heroic damage, which I thought was pretty cool between
Greymane and
the
Sylvanas.
Yeah.
Yeah, both
It's cool. I saw that.
Yeah, both teams, like it was weird that it does look relatively close in the stats. It doesn't seem super obvious, but the way that Diamond Hands was able to just split Wildheart at all points in time during the game, they got so many picks at the start of the game that just set Wildheart permanently behind. Diamond Hands came out the gates just swinging. It was way more aggressive early than I could have possibly expected. It really feels like Diamond Hands was invigorated after their match yesterday, whereas Wildheart maybe a little bit down after their match yesterday. It really feels like the momentum has shifted drastically for both of these teams, which is weird because Diamond Hands, the team that got 0-3'd yesterday, they're coming in insanely strong off the bat. The early game, about as bad as it could have went for Wildheart and about as good as it could for Diamond Hands. You had Weary Day on Rhaegar getting picked immediately, and then you just had multiple picks back to back. Zerglin gets picked off on Blaze, Haven gets picked off mid, Weary Day gets picked off again, and that's before any kind of retaliation comes through. Here's the first pick onto Rhaegar. Just really uncharacteristic of Wildheart to fall this early like that. That was an absolutely preventable death. It's not like you don't see Diamond Hands in that moment. That's just being too far forward, not respecting the amount of damage coming out from Diamond Hands. Wildheart does start to come back into the game slightly with their level 10s in fights, but they were still so far behind that on Sky Temple, it's nearly impossible to come back. And we see how quickly Haben will die if he's ever isolated. That's what the composition does. Haben not able to be that far from his team at pretty much any point. Maybe on a different tank, maybe on something like Johanna, he could press the Iron Skin and escape, maybe Falling Sword away, but on Diablo, you're so committed to it that you just, if you're that far forward, you just can't do that. You're not allowed to do that against the composition that Diamond Hands has drafted, and Wildheart just not looking to be quite on the same page, whereas Diamond Hands, super coordinated. This was the Diamond Hands that we saw in Game 1 yesterday against 30k that almost won the game, that had the 30% core attempt, where they were just diving into the backline together. They were all playing super aggressive together as a team, layering their CCs, beating a comp, almost winning that game against 30k, where 30k had the easier draft. Diamond Hands making it look easy for them in this game, and the macro also was just basically perfect. There was only one real opportunity for Wildheart to come back into the game, and that was fighting over the boss when it was level 15 to 16, and even that, it's not a good situation for Wildheart. So there was really no point in the game where Diamond Hands was really under any threat of even having a chance at losing the game after the early game advantage that they had surmounted. And on Sky Temple, once you take an advantage in the early game, it's very, very difficult to get it back. And Diamond Hands never giving them that opportunity. This was the one chance that Wildheart almost had. You had Haben interrupting the jump from Caesar Salad. This, to be fair, was... Diamond Hands didn't need to be here. They basically had the option to sit in their base, so there were some macro mistakes from Diamond Hands, but nothing capitalized to the extent that it would need to be with how much of an advantage they had in the game. So if Diamond Hands can keep having this momentum, I don't see Wildheart being able to really recover from it. It feels like it's a defeated Wildheart coming in, kind of a crippled Wildheart from their match yesterday, and a reinvigorated Diamond Hands, which is weird because the map scores shouldn't really allude to that, but Diamond Hands just feels to be hot today.
Yeah, they're hot on the trail of Wildheart for sure, and I was actually looking back at all those clips as you were breaking things down from map number 1, and I was thinking to myself, I was just like, who really would I call out as like the MVP from Diamond Hands? Because it really did feel like Caesar Salad was always where he needed to be, Hebi was really good on the Karazim. It just kind of felt like everyone filled their roles so perfectly, isn't the right word, but it's like they filled it so very well. Like everyone played their role and they knew what they needed to do, and it was just it was great. It was just really, really good overall. Diamond Hands, as you had mentioned, really coming in invigorated today for map number 1. But of course, this is a best of 5, ladies and gentlemen, so we got to find out where we're going to for map number 2. Now, Grubby, I'm gonna throw it to you for this one. Where are we heading to, bud?
We're going to Dragonshire, less of a 5-man melee party like we saw on Sky Temple. Though many of the picks would still work out, like Murden and Karazim, in terms of looking at the perspective of Diamond Hands. But this is the most split map situation map, where everyone's gotta be independent. And there is rotations, definitely, but you need at least 3 independent players that can kind of win duels, escape ganks, clear waves.
Grubby, I'm gonna throw it right back to you because you recently sat down with I don't know, this one guy. He's got a couple trophies whenever we interview him, just like 1 or 2 like tiny little trophies in the background. Did Hazuabs have anything to say about Dragonshire? Because I know you talked a little bit about yesterday the conversations you had with him about the map strategies. I'm curious if you have any sort of map strategies Hazu talked about as we're getting ready to start the draft here.
Two major things he said is that you want to push in the first bruiser camp in the top lane to try and get some structure damage against the solo laner. This really makes them feel more threatened and gives you more control of the top shrine. So you send 3 to 4 people, anywhere from 3 to 4 people to the top bruiser camp. Different from Storm League, where it's usually a send and forget. One person that has like a build that can solo a camp takes the bruiser and then send and forget, one-on-one bruiser. The second part is that the Dragon Knight isn't that strong, and therefore you better be ready for your level 20s.
So what you're saying, instead of drafting a Dragon Knight, you draft a Cho'Gall, right?
Or maybe a variant C Smash. He has
Oh,
a very
please,
strong level 20 with the
please.
glory to the Alliance.
Oh my god. High King's Quest at level 1, Smash at level 4, the healing talent that I always forget at level... I want to say it's Victory Rush, but I don't think that's correct.
Second Wind.
Second Wind. I always mix up the two. And I learned it from Justing. It's such a good, like, synergy when you finish out High King's Quest below 50%. As long as you're smashing someone with that giant sword, you're fine, Justing.
Yeah, and you've got a 5-second window of invincibility, so as long as they don't get you in that 3.5 seconds of being vulnerable, you're just chopping wood with your sword, you're having a good time healing up, but not sure if either of these teams will be brave enough to take out the Mighty Smash variant on this map.
Cowards.
But we'll see, maybe Diamond Hands will have something with it, with a double support comp or something, but right now Diamond Hands having just all the momentum in the series, just off of game 1. I don't think the last game was still a draft issue, and that's why it's so concerning to me for Wildheart.
Oh, really?
Because I think that Diamond Hands comp, it functioned, it had a very obvious role, but Wildheart had tools to deal with it. They had Ancestral, they had Bunker. There's really no excuse to have one of your frontliners get one shot like that without anyone in range of the 7s at pretty much any point in time. They got picked 4 times in the first like 5 minutes of the game. That's not a draft issue. That's just being like asleep while Diamond Hands is just running full speed at you. So I'm concerned for Wildheart, and especially on this map. Wildheart traditionally has been a much more kind of team-based, group up, 4-man sort of thing, unit type team, whereas Diamond Hands seems to be a little bit more independent, which kind of plays to their strengths here on Dragonshire.
We have literally the exact same draft from Sky Temple. Like, ban, order, and actually I'm wrong on that. Joanna and Stukov were switched. But now, still very similar to our last map, Grubby, but it is going to be an Anubarak instead of a Diablo.
Anubarak is not necessarily a lot safer than Diablo when it comes to getting CC'd out of a bush and then blown up. But he does have more repositioning capabilities, a little bit of that spell armor.
Cocoon could also be a shutdown as well.
But it can, taking Anubarak, it still feels risky when you don't know how many melee your opponent's going for yet.
Wow. That's a little surprising that the Kerosene gets banned out here. Like, that they've... Yeah?
This is the map, though. We have seen it in the previous series. We've seen it picked really early on Dragonshire specifically. So it's not so much, I think, about the double support Kerosene. I think it's just Kerosene in general on this map offers so much burst damage in the potential for picks. And Dragonshire through the early mid game is all about getting picks. And we saw that in the last game, even on Sky Temple, Wildheart getting picked left and right through the early game. You really don't want Diamond Hands to have anything that's going to enable that, especially on Dragonshire.
All right, double bruiser, main tank, Anduin, so we'll see Rutso on a hypercarry something. Please don't let it be a Phoenix, as we have 2 more picks coming out from the side of Wildheart. Grubby, thoughts?
It's a good counter to Anubarak. I like what Diamond Hands is doing here. Even flexing the final pick, it can be like a tracer. Wow, oh, we're in the frontline meta, boys. And there's a lot of protection. Hogger reduces enemy damage, Murden reduces enemy damage. So does Blaze and Tyrael via the shields and via the... there's a lot of protection on both sides. One ranged assassin only. God, nobody can die, right?
Yeah, this actually might be like a very low-kill game. I do want to see what this last pick is going to be, but I also want to get Justing's thoughts as well. So, let's see what we got here. A Tracer. All right. I don't know about this one, Justing. Yeah, I don't know about this one, Justing.
The Tracer, not what you'd expect. Diamond Hands composition doesn't have a lot of wave clear, but they do to some extent make up for that by having the Hogger and the Dahaka to be able to hold down the top and bottom lane. They have 2 offlaners to make up for that. They also have the Global, which gets a lot of value on Dragonshire. I'd argue that Dahaka, this is just Dahaka's best map. You can use the Global better here than pretty much anywhere else, especially into the late game when the rotation to top or bottom is such a long walk for any single hero. You kind of need a team to escort you there, whereas Dahaka has the ability to just traverse from top to bottom instantly, which gets you a big advantage into the late game. So at 20, I'm expecting that to help. And then in the early game, Wildheart should be kind of okay. I'm assuming that it's going to be the similar Tyrael build to what we've seen Nick playing with the globes, and he's just going to be farming globes early game. And if he does manage to get the full auto attack build on Tyrael, he should be able to hit a lot of people with his smite. He should be having gigantic auto attacks that heal him for a lot. So the Tyrael might be something that is so strong that it can kind of carry this whole draft. Mason Blaze playing it, I like to see that. But both these drafts are just very weird. It's a bunch of beefy boys slamming together. We'll see what happens.
Big beefy boys slamming together. Justin said it, and I'm just repeating it. On the left-hand side, we got Wildheart Esports, Mason Blaze on the Tyrael, Haben on the Anubrak, Zergling on the Blaze, Weary Day on the Uther, and IB Tings on the Sylvanas. Over on the side of Diamond Hands, we've got Caesar Salad on the Muradin, Hebi on the Anduin, yeah boy, on the Hogger, Nintori to play the Dahaka, and Rutso on the Tracer. I'm still gonna believe in Wildheart here. I think the game number 1 was a fluke grubby, and I think this game is going to be parity found within the series. We should be ending Dragonshire 1-1 score. What are you thinking here? As we have Nintori landing a drag onto Haben, who might go down right here at the beginning of the map.
Rutso, can they catch Rutso though? Rutso, everything goes in. Everything. Is there a drag? No drag yet. Hogger.
Oh my god.
Pulled. Oh my god.
Drag?
The drag done.
But okay.
Hey, nobody dies. Prediction stands true for now.
Yeah.
Too much protection. But now they're going top. Well, let's see. Is Black Arrow back yet? Yes, it is available, but they changed their mind. Very exciting start so far. Let's see. Do you think it can be a 1-1? You think it can be the equalizer? Well,
I do
you are
think so.
definitely true. It is always possible. I also like the draft of Wildheart quite a bit. I think Tyrael is very valuable together with Uther. How counterable is Tracer here? Anubrak has trouble interacting with her.
You could look for like a Cocoon onto Tracer and then Chain CC from Anubrak.
But there's no chain CC that follows Tracer Cocoon where she cannot press E or Q, right? Only Stukov.
Unless maybe you look for like a Wailing Arrow or a Mind Control, like.
But it has to be like frame perfect.
Oh, exactly. I know. I said the sentence and I was like, I heard what I said in my own, like, and I was like, that's not right. That's not right, Bahamut. It's not gonna happen.
I think
it's too much copium.
You're right that there are some that are there. Maybe Impale. Impale has a channeling time where it passes, like first it goes into your toes, then your shins, then your calves. Like it kind of travels underneath you, and if you come out of the cocoon while Impale is underneath you, I do believe it will stun you. Like it doesn't have like a single pixel where it stuns you. It has like a line. There's the first blood kill on Hogger. Nice job by Wildheart. But yeah, maybe Impale can actually be that which they are looking for. But yeah, for the rest, don't get in range of Uther's stun, I guess, for Tracer.
Yeah.
Sylvanas just shoots back with equal ferocity, and then I like what Tyrael does into Tracer, actually. Movement speed helps to catch up to her.
I'm loving the layered CC. Haben with the Burrow Charge Impale, then you have a stun from Uther, as well as Zergling with the Jet Propulsion. It's just it's just like a delicious layered dip, if you will. A 7-layer dip of Chain CC onto Muradin, who will fall. 2 kills for Wildheart, and they're pushing ahead in experience by about a half a level or so.
They push down that top double tower.
Yeah, this is what Justin was talking about at the start of the game, or in the draft, about pushing with the camp and getting value onto that top lane fort.
Yep, very nice result there for Wildheart. Nitori Nitori didn't come top there because, well, they didn't. Hold that thought.
I'm holding it.
For Nubarak.
I'm holding it. Rutso?
DK, okay.
Donkey Kong. Oh, no, different DK. Dragonite will be hitting for 207 auto and into structures 114. And it seems like the members of Diamond Hands want to open up top lane against the other solo laner just to make things a little more equal up here. I like this call.
Yeah, taking down 2 towers here. Did they get towers mid? No, they went straight top.
Yeah, they.
The 1 tower is down.
beelined
Uther
it.
gets kicked. Oh,
That's a bad spot for Uther, but who's around to follow up? Caesar Salad maybe chastised over the far side of the wall. The Dragonite is here, but the Dragonite not the best to really fight with because doesn't deal extra damage into heroes, still just that 207. A drag onto a Nubrak. Haben goes down, and that will be the first blood from Diamond Hands. Well played. Dragonite finds a tower and half of a gate. Sad.
Not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, I mean, you know, first Dragonite. Everyone's got to start somewhere.
True.
They also got a Nubrak kill with really good layered CC. Everyone held their CC for just long enough.
I was watching to see if IB is going to be able to back away, and there's no actual threat onto that one. Nice call from Hogger to grab this camp in the bottom lane. We do have the Siege Giants up and available, so we could see a potential contest over that. Mason Blaze will be down here, but Heavy is also in the mix. We have a Nubrak going to be coming in. Tahaka brush talks in. This is looking like a huge collapse. All 5 members are down here. Mason Blaze getting very low, jumps into the backline. Once again, we have some garbage on the ground from Hogger. The camp goes over to the side of Diamond Hands, but it's Heavy to go down first. Yeah, boy. Yeah, dead. And that's a double kill for Wildheart, who are pushing ahead in experience as they're approaching their 10 talents here, once again, by about a half a level lead.
Quite unexpected to get the camp, the spell armor, and then to lose out in the follow-up. But Hogger kind of dropped low during all that, so he was unable to really help his team to step up to get a good staggering blow that could have maybe saved people. He just kind of threw it out there because he was already 10% life. Nice job by Wildheart, despite losing the camp, to find those kills on Hogger and on Anduin, now with a nice little lead.
Okay, Hogger will clear out the Siege Giants. I'm waiting for the 10s to come through because I'm curious what we're going to be seeing. Will it be that Judgment, as Nick has been going into? Yes, it is. Yep. Judgment, Cocoon, I'm assuming Bunker, I'm going to assume Divine Shield, but here's the cool thing, Mind Control. This might be the way to go fishing for Tracer consistently, and then you follow up with the Judgment and all that other stuff, so that way she can't really do anything or press any buttons. Though Uther is holding, do we have the potential for a Divine Storm for just even more layered CC?
It's into triple melee. Divine Storm is most likely to get results on melee, so there's something to be considered.
Big Pulse Bomb onto Mason. There was a... I don't know what canceled out the Judgment, but it's on a 10-second cooldown right there. Tracer is going to be Cocoon. That actually does make complete sense for the Judgment to be stunned out. Huge Divine Storm, and that's going to be Heavy to go down. Judgment does go into Tracer, and she will fall to Uther. Double kill for Wildheart Esports. 6-1 in kills, and that'll be a Nubrak on the point. Blaze does hold top lane up against Hogger, and you already see Tyrael rushing to mid to grab Dragonite.
Bahamut, I'm loving this alpha meta. I'm not talking alpha male nonsense here. No, alpha of hearts. Uther and Tyrael, some of our inaugural heroes with their epic Judgment and Divine Storm, which were totally the meta. Super cool to see coming out here. Judgment did get interrupted, most likely by Skullcracker. We can take a look at the replay. So there you have Tyrael juking 2 CCs. Third CC, he jukes 3 CCs, tries the Judgment away, and the actually kind of sick because Heavy put the light bomb for the Judgment, but it never came through. Nice mind control, nice dive by Ivy Things. And then D-Storm on the triple backline, really sick.
Yeah, that D-Storm was just beautiful. I was watching Murden, and he actually landed a Stormbolt. That was what interrupted the Judgment right there. I was like honing in on exactly what he was doing. Cocoon in top lane, onto the Hogger. Let's see, Divine Storm not available for 6 seconds, good leap of faith from Heavy, does save the moment, and Tori going to be trying to land a drag, but it doesn't connect. Isolation available, Hortapult available. We could see like a Light Bomb Hortapult combo here. Tracer's also a good target for those Light Bombs as she can blink in, get the Light Bomb, and then maybe even recall. Nice utilization right there from Yeah Boy to avoid the kick from the Dragonite with the short distance spin.
Yeah, exactly. That on-demand unstoppable, so good. It's not always about ping-ponging through the enemy team. The Wildheart takes a nice lead after a somewhat discouraging first game. Now they're in a really, really good spot, and they look good. They look reinvigorated. Defeated, they look like last game almost. But now they find another Murden. He avatars, but maybe shouldn't have even.
I don't think so. I don't think he would have been saved by that one. But at the same time, in those moments, you as a Muradin player, because I've done the same thing too. You're just like, if I press R, I'll have enough HP to dwarf toss away. But it's just with the layered CC and the control from Wildheart with their draft, it's beautifully being executed here. 7-1 in kills, I think, does kind of showcase how. Okay, that should be Dahaka dead. No, Leap of Faith from Anduin. I'm actually gonna keep an eye on Anduin to watch when he has Leap of Faith off a cooldown, because we're not at 16 just yet, and he's only got 1, so that's 60-second cooldown currently.
Yeah, Baha doesn't like to get lied to. The story here was being told and that Dahaka will die. He didn't realize that Anduin is a tricky one and can counter that.
Those M. Night Shyamalan movies that have like a twist in them, I hate those movies, because I think, it's like, oh yeah, it's a happy little movie, and it's just like, what? Oh, he was dead the whole time? So yeah. Judgment Material.
Anduin, he light bombs himself. Pretty damn good, actually. That's a triple light bomb, but they go in. They get him anyway.
IB is going to be getting that Haunting Wave in. A Cocoon onto Tracer. Can she get away? Right there, I think Haben did exactly what you're talking about at the start of the game with that Impale, already casting it before the Cocoon already ends because of just the animation timing. Really cool tech right there, and good call out as well, Grubby.
Yeah, nice timings by Wildheart. They get 2 more kills. They're just completely steamrolling Diamond Hands. Diamond Hands. Yeah.
10-minute game and we're on a keep right now.
Yeah, looking at it. Are they going to go for it? They've got a Bruiser Camp and a Catapult. Nope, they're going to play it safe. Probably Tyrael starts the Bruiser Camp. No, wait, he has to take the DK.
DK.
Nobody starts the Bruiser Camp?
Okay, so Hogger is on the right. That does show on the minimap. Weary Day is going to consider going over here. You see the danger pings as well. Haunting Wave.
Whoa.
Okay, the fight will break out. Light Bomb's going to be onto the point. Wildheart does give this away. Kick onto the Anduin, so there's no Leap of Faith or range for the Leap of Faith just yet. It is off a cooldown, just a note for anyone wondering. Still 9-1 in kills, and the mid lane fort will fall to the Dragonite. Dragonite dealing how much damage into structures? 585 damage into structures. As we're waiting to see, okay, Anduin still has the Leap of Faith available, and 3/4 of a level for 16 on the side of Diamond Hands. It almost seems like a lot of the games today, Grubby, have been 1.5 to 2 level leads for a team consistently.
Yeah, and sometimes from both sides in a best of 5, right?
Yeah, like back and forth. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So not much more you can do with a DK here. How much health does it have? 8,000 only. So it's about a little bit more than a Diablo health pool. I guess you can still get 2 towers here. Duration 15 seconds. May not even make it back to the bottom gate. Do you even step up and chance 2 auto attacks on the keep? Nah, you'd be out of position.
Like, it is Tyrael and everything, but I think the thing to do here is just play it safe and continue your lead rather than being greedy for extra autos onto a keep that, you're not going to take down the keep. 2 autos, it's going to deal around 1,000 plus damage, so it's just not worth it at that time. So I like this call from Wildheart. Just say, we're ahead. We don't need to be overly aggressive in this position. Let the enemy make mistakes or try and play into the enemy as they step up into us, as we're seeing that a little bit over here. And right now, Blaze going to be looked at, and I think Wildheart's wise to the rotation of the enemy.
He hortipulted in. He was going in on the feeling. I mean, Caesar Salad could have done that if that's what you wanted to do. Of course, Muradin wouldn't be able to get out. And Hogger can hortipult in and then spin out. So, yeah, different thought. They realized Blaze must be solo on the camp, and yeah, they didn't make it there on time.
Invade onto the camp of Diamond Hands from Wildheart. Haben was sitting in the bush anchoring. Weary Day forward as well. And it seems like Wildheart's committed to a push through bottom. Still level and a quarter away from 20 talent tier, but this push should yield a little bit of damage onto the keep if the Siege Giants can get pushed up.
They're pushing it up. There's a black arrow.
Black arrows will be active for a few more moments here, as we do have the keep falling nearly to 50%. The Siege Giants almost at full HP. Tyrael does have that shielding, and it does apply to minions and mercenaries as well, so he can just kind of bolster them a little bit, get a little extra damage, and still a decent amount goes into that keep as another Dragonite spawns here. I believe this is the 3rd one of the game.
Yeah, I believe so. Diamond Hands is in a pretty tough spot. Haven't been able to get a lot of picks here. 2 levels down. They're trying to get a Nubrak here. He's got the 65 spell armor. Light Bomb, Judgment, they're going on Anduin. Tyrael really just focusing Anduin. There's a D-Storm on Hogger and Muradin. Hogger gets pulled. Tracer in the cocoon. The Haka getting bullied. He gets his essence. Ogre dies.
Hogger's dead. The chase continues. Impale onto Tracer. That's the second Leap of Faith from Heavy. No more charges available. With 2 dead, I think they could go bottom. I mean, I'm going to look at Sylvanas really quickly. She's got Black Arrow. I think it just came off a cooldown. They can take bottom lane keep with this and then go for Dragonite. But it actually seems like they want to do a little bit of everything. They want Dragonite on the side of Diamond Hands. Yeah, okay. Wildheart, Wildheart wants the Dragonite, and I think they'll just use that to go for keep. Okay.
They're getting Siege Camp as well. Okay. How much health does the DK have? 18,000 health. A lot less tanky than a boss would be on the map. Boss would be like 30, 40,000 health. But then it's player operated, right? It's player controllable. So you definitely get a keep here. And if it was 30k, I'd say they're probably going core with it. But I'm wondering if Wildheart is just aiming for bot keep and then maybe trying to go for mid keep. Do you think they'll go for core?
That would be my call, to be honest, is take keep, go core. They've got Siege Giants coming up the lane behind them as well. The Dragonite slaps pretty heavily, but that, I guess Wildheart, they've got a different game plan right here. They do have that 20 talent tier advantage. We have the upgrade on the Judgment for the Tyrael. He's got the Angel of Justice, so you have the cooldown reduction down to 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds he can judge, and he can judge from like 2 screens away. Like, it's crazy the range that you have from this, but Sylvanas activates her Black Arrows, and mid lane keep will be pushed in by the Dragonite. 35% or so on the Dragonite left, dealing over 700 damage into structures. Mind control on the Muradin as the keep does go down.
Uther was thinking about destorming Muradin. He decided it's not worth it. Too much health on him. He's got the avatar activated. A maximum health pool of 7.6k.
Whoa.
Tracer dodges the cocoon with recall.
Nice.
That's pretty sweet.
Mind control point blank into the Muradin. The light bomb will be from Anduin as well. Here comes the Jet Propulsion. This is a 20 talent tier advantage fight to the side of Wildheart. Judgment in from the Tyrael as well, and it looks like he uses his Druid's Might to just back out immediately. He jumped in and is able to back away, and as I mentioned, it's a very low cooldown, so he can spam that a little bit. As Diamond Hands, they don't have the 20, and invading or trying to fight around this camp, I feel like, is not the call.
Even if Diamond Hands kills like 2, they cannot finish. That's a drag tone on the Nubarak. He gets full CC'd. Habin goes down. You know what? He couldn't even press hardened carapace. That's how he got CC'd. Nice job by Nitori getting that drag tongue. The follow-up CC was there. Judgment. Recall dodge.
Retzo's still being chased. Uther wants the stun. He needs just like
Holy
one
shit, we'll
auto.
kill him.
Oh, no, it's not going to work out. Yeah, boy, Hortipulse in the back line. They have Anduin dead and Nubrak dead, and it seems like Wildheart backs away to grab camps.
Sorry, I thought he's gonna die to the next Holy Shock, but he's got that level 13 jumper talent.
Oh, yeah. Blink has no charges remaining as cooldowns are 100% faster. Casting Blink grants Tracer a shield equal to 6.5% of her maximum health for 3 seconds. The shield stacks up to 3 times. Okay, alright. Oh, Weary Day almost getting that kill. That would have actually been kind of cool. That I wonder if actually, if they get the kill into Tracer, if the members of Wildheart would have stepped in for core, or if they would have made the exact same play.
Yeah, probably same play. They already showed they have a predilection to safe play when they went for the double keep play with that level 20 versus 18 Dragonite. They've got the 2 keeps down. They continue to play it safe. Wildheart has had really good engagements. They just lost their Anubarak once. Not really a reason for concern. They're going to want to play off of vision and odds. When Diamond Hands feels forced to defend against one camp or another, away for another, you can take a favorable fight. Any 5-on-5 should like to be avoided by Wildheart.
Blaze is in the top lane. Diamond Hands fishing around looking for that potential fight in this bottom area. I was looking at the minimap and trying to try to figure out, like, what does Diamond Hands need to take this map? Because, oh wait, hold on, mid, yeah. In mid, we have a mind control. Okay, all right. Well, that's not what Diamond Hands needs. That's a cocoon onto Muradin as well. Yeah, boy, with the spin, gets Muradin broken out very, very quickly. Light bomb from the Anduin onto Haben, but here comes Mason Blaze with the flank. The Judgment is available in 12 seconds. Heavy getting pressured by Mason Blaze. We have Haben on the left-hand side onto Retzo. Mind control goes out, not connecting onto anyone. Dragonite is available, but no one's going to be jumping into it just yet. Knocked back onto Mason Blaze. There's the Judgment to re-engage. Aldruins might throw him backwards. Tracer looking to pressure onto him, but Blaze has the channel in bottom, and this is looking like another Dragonite to Wildheart Esports.
Yeah, and Where is it? It's not being taken yet. They have the availability. There's a fight force. D-Storm actually only hits like 1 or 0. Sylvanas goes down. Good job by Diamond Hands there. They get a kill. Weary Day is pretty low, but he's probably got the Holy Ghost. Caesar Salad. Does he have another bolt? Place.
Judgment in from the Tyrael. He's going to be trying to pressure the backline, as that is going to be Blaze going down. The Dragonite is grabbed by Haben, and I think he's just going to try and go core with this. Though I don't think he's not gonna end.
Oh no! Like he's gonna pretend to go core and then just go back.
Okay.
This is just so that Diamond Hands cannot push. It was really good play by Haben to just leave all his allies to die. That's how you want to play tank, guys. If you're tank, your allies are dying, just walk away.
I've done
and
that.
ignore all the spam pings. But
Yeah.
like, it actually makes sense here. Like the double laser, you want to make sure you get that DK, and then now Diamond Hands can't capitalize on the kills.
Alrighty. It's still, like... It's late game, but Diamond Hand showing a little bit of life here with a kill or two. As I said earlier, like, I was sitting here looking at the map. Diamond Hands needs 2 to 3 really good wipes for them to end here, I feel. 2 at least. 2 at least. 3 for sure.
Yeah, you're right, because they just got the double kill wipe, and the map situation made it so they can't use it. So that just shows what they need. They need like double, triple kill.
Wait, Weary Day could go down. That's huge. Uther does have the redemption. You see the golden swirl. He'll be back. Dragonite will expire in 16 seconds. So it's not going to go down to the just to the health pool, but it is going to be the timer. So, hey, a kill onto Uther. He does respawn, but that's a 3-minute cooldown on that ability. 170 seconds now. 70.
And Diamond Hands is forced to wait 40 seconds because they use double cooldown to blow up Uther. So you get this advantage over the next 3 minutes, but you lose the advantage over the next minute. Now they take their own camps. They take Bruiser camp. Then what does Diamond Hands do next? Their siege will be cleared, so they'll be forced to deal with bottom. And there could be a trap laid by Wildheart somewhere in the bushes between mid and bot. Merlin goes to check it out early, as he still had vision. That's nice that he came here that early to give vision. Bruiser camp fight would actually be good for Diamond Hands, no?
Oh, absolutely. I think they've got a lot of point control here. Unfortunately, they won't make the rotation in time, and this will just be grabbed by Wildheart, cleared out by Diamond Hands. Blaze does see Muradin, who is going to get hit with 1 CC2. CC Rewind comes through. That's a jet propulsion as well from Blaze. Avatar pop, the Judgment. That also will be piercing light, finished by the Anduin. Hold 10% on that spell power. Light Bomb will be coming through. Mason Blaze jukes it. Tracer getting a little bit low. Zergling in the back line. That's a burrow from Dahaka. Pops his essence. Leap of Faith onto Caesar Salad. Saves him right there. Checking to see another Leap of Faith that is available. Mind Control onto the Dahaka. Second Leap of Faith charged used. 60 seconds on a singular charge to come through as we have a wave pushing in through bottom. Diamond Hands don't lose anyone, but Wildheart looking to maybe end this map. Though if Diamond Hands can control this, it could be huge. Nice recall from Tracer. Portapult in from the Hogger. Tracer taking a lot of damage. Gets the Desperate Prayer. The Mind Control onto Anduin. Dwarf Toss from the Muradin. That's going to be Anduin going down. This might be the beginning of the end. That's a double kill for Sylvanas, and we still continue to see Wildheart going in towards the core of Diamond Hands. She locks down the towers. IB Tings is able to get that keep locked down. No shots out. Rutso on a little bit of HP. Rewind from Muradin. Haben is going to get healed up. Mind Control, recall, and ladies and gentlemen, the 1-to-1 is going to happen here. We will be seeing Wildheart take map number 2, Dragonshire. Haben will fall, but I don't think he's necessary for this map to be a victory. Well played from Wildheart. They will find parity in this series. We may not be getting 10 total maps, but we could potentially have 9 maps. GG, well played.
Yeah, GG, well played. Really good game by Wildheart. My MVP for this is Mason Blaze.
Yeah.
He's got the most damage tanked.
Yep.
He has the most hero damage in the game.
Yep.
Tyrael. And he gave shields to allies himself. 0 deaths. And still second in siege damage on his team. Look at those stats. Disgusting. I was thinking he's doing so much damage already. Like, you had 3 to 4 people literally running away from him.
I mean, he had the highest self-heal as well, as 56,000. We got Justing back in the mix to talk about Dragonshire, and what a great map for Wildheart here. What a great map to put one up on the board and showcase that this is not a quick 3-0 for Diamond Hands.
Yeah, Wildheart coming in with a plan, creating the pressure like they need to do. They had the early game to just allow Tyrael, Mason Blaze playing that, to be able to just collect as many globes as possible through the mid and bot, and then having Sylvanas just group up and push in the top with the Knights creates so much pressure that Diamond Hand's composition can't really deal with. They have the double the double offlaner composition where they have a Dahaka and they have a Hogger, but the Tracer, Anduin, Muradin is no wave clear at all. So those three are really struggling to deal with a Sylvanas empowered Knight push in the top lane, and that whole time you have Mason Blaze just catching waves everywhere else, collecting all the globes, and we saw how much value he got on that Tyrael pick in the late game in the team fights. And even here, Hebi in particular and Anduin seem to get bullied quite a bit this game. Watch Mason Blaze in this fight, he's just relentless diving onto Hebi, and that's been kind of my criticism of the hero in Anduin, is if your team's not going to win the fight just off the bat, if you're not the aggressors, if you're the team that's running away, he can't heal and run away at the same time. He's very susceptible to dive, and as soon as you start losing a fight, you really lose a fight when you have an Anduin. And the judgments were just constant, especially at level 20. You get to a point where the Diamond Hands doesn't have any easy way to start fights, whereas Wildheart in the late game had the judgment. They had the mind control, and they can just fish for picks. Weary Day had an absolutely nuts Divine Storm there, hitting 4 members. There's just so much CC and damage coming up from Wildheart. I'd say Mason Blaze is my MVP alongside Weary Day on the Uther. He had maybe one moment where he got picked uncharacteristically, but outside of that, the D-Storms were very good. He basically 1v1s Rutzo on the Tracer during all points in the game whenever they're on the same screen. Just with the Holy Shocks, he's able to kind of keep Rutzo at bay. Rutzo can't even trade into the Uther, which feels really bad. I'm really not been a fan of the Tracer picks we've seen, but one thing that is concerning for Wildheart is that even with an advantage in the late game, they still have moments like this where they manage to end up potentially throwing a game-winning play in a disadvantaged situation. This should be a 5v4. This shouldn't be a fight where Diamond Hands has any business winning this, but Diamond Hands tries to come back into the game here. They get the 5v4. They actually end up winning the team fight. While Wildheart gets the Dragon Knight, all that does is buy time. And they kind of miss their opportunity to end the game. They have a much easier time to look for picks late game with the Judgment, with the Mind Control upgrade. You can just permanently look for picks, just fish for them, and they're very easy. But Wildheart now is starting to have kind of a running trend of not being able to close out the games when they're ahead. There's a point in this game where they're level 18 to 16, where we've seen from 30k, when they're up 18 to 16, they're vibing. It doesn't even look remotely close. It doesn't feel like there's any point for teams to get back into the game. Diamond Hands had a real chance to get back into the game here once it hit level 20. So I'm a little concerned about Wildheart being able to have the composure to carry that momentum through the late game. It feels like they still kind of panic into the late game. They kind of get nervous and they play a little bit scared. I'm hoping to see them clean it up, but both these teams have just a lot of strengths and weaknesses that are kind of just checking each other, and we might be in for a long one.
Well, hopefully we are, because I'd love to see 5 maps between these two teams. We definitely will get a few more, or a couple more at least, because you got to take a 3-1 if you want to win this series, and we currently sit 1-1 between our two amazing teams of Wildheart Esports versus Diamond Hands. As always, we're getting ready for map number 3, so we're going to take a short little break. In that break, I encourage you to hit ! prize pool. We're $160 away from $15,000 for the prize pool, and I want to also let you all know that the prize pool 100% will be going to the players. First place taking 35%, and also Wisdom will be adding in $10,000 at the end of the season to, well, the prize pool. So if we can make it to 15,000, well, by the end of the weekend, it will be 25,000. So make sure you get yourself over to the match arena by hitting ! prize pool in chat. But as I said, we're getting ready for map number 3. When we come back, we're going to find out who will rally. Will Wildheart continue to dominate the series, or will Diamond Hands find an answer to Wildheart? Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and to everyone watching at the Wisdom Studios in Mall of America. My name's Bahamut, joined by Grubby and Justing for HeroesCCL Season 4 Playoffs. We're in our second Best of 5 of the day, the 4th Best of 5 of the entire weekend, and we still have more matches tomorrow. But of course, this matchup is a critical one, as the loser of this Best of 5 will end. That'll be the end of their CCL Season 4. They'll take 4th place, and the winner will move on to go up against Oxygen Esports tomorrow morning, afternoon. It'll be the first Best of 5 tomorrow, and that'll determine the winner of that one to who goes up against 30k. So a lot of really cool things moving around right now. And before we move into our map number 3, I gotta ask my friends here how they're doing, how their break was, and are they ready for another map. So I'll start with Grubby.
I had some oatmeal cookies. It's a good day. It's a good evening. I'm ready for the next
oatmeal
one.
cookies. They're so good. Like it's right there, like next to like ginger snaps. They're so. Oh, can I would like one, please. Thank you. Let me just go ahead and just reach. Oh wait, well, hold on. Wrong way. This way. There we go. Let me just reach into your camera and get one. Justin, what'd you get up to, bud?
I did my best inflatable tube man cosplay because it's really hot here, so I somewhat embarrassingly I went over to the fan. I have a huge fan, and I was just like basking in the fan, you know, my shirt up. I was getting all poofy. I was like a big inflatable tube man for it. It was a good time. It cooled me off.
It's like 80 degrees in my stream room right now, Fahrenheit, and I was wondering, I was like, well, there's like usually like a little airflow. I have a fan behind the green screen, and I got up from the break, and I was like, why is there like no like circulation in the room? The dog that I'm watching is laying right in front of it, so he's blocking all the ding-dang air. He's just sitting there like, oh, this is amazing.
He needs it.
He needs it. He's got fur, I don't. So we are gonna get ready for this next. I guess you got a point. Yeah. But let's go ahead and find out where we're going to for map number 3. We're going to be going off to Alterac Pass here, Justin, chosen by Wildheart Esports.
Yep, Alterac, it's a map that we've been seeing quite a bit lately, and I think if the trend continues, Diamond Hands should probably be favorable on this map, even though Wildheart is the ones who picked it. Diamond Hands has felt like they've had slightly better understanding of macro and better understanding of how to get picks, and on a map like this, unless you're able to just commit and 5v5 for the objective, the picks can be so important, the macro can be so important, especially into the late game.
Macro is huge here. I mean, we actually even heard it in the interview in the after the last series from Madara, just saying, you know, they feel like that they're falling behind in macro and micro on this map. So it is really, really critical to make some of these, well, critical choices, because it does feel like this map, Grubby, if you lose the objective, things can quite literally, because we're going to a snow-based map, snowball out of control for the team that does get a couple kills and an objective push.
Oh, 100%. On Tomb of the Spider Queen, the objective is probably like a 4 out of 10 in strength. The first objective could maybe get 1 tower or 3 towers or 5, a fort if you're lucky. But on this map just now, we saw the first objective being taken around level 11, and it took down all 3 forts, or, well, let's say 99% of the final fort. Yeah. This is a very strong objective, and there's 2 bosses on the map, so the tools to finish definitely are there. It's only that gosh darn strong core that stops games from being, that stops games from ending that quickly, because that core has a lot of armor. You want to take down 2 keeps usually. The exception really is if you get 1 or 2 kills and you get a full HP boss on the core, then you can end on a 40 armor core.
I've noticed that there's rare occasions, when it's late game, death timers are long, 3 kills go through, and there's 1 keep down, then absolutely. There's 60 seconds, you've got more than enough time to take down Drekthar or Vandar Stormpike. But if you only have 1 keep down and you get 1 kill, it's very, very hard to take down the core without any sort of extra siege, like you were saying, Grubby, the boss, or even the cavalry to amplify your potential. But Justin, we are getting into some bans here, and things are changing up a little bit from our previous games. No Joanna ban yet, but still that Lucio ban. Is this another Brightwing? A Hogger. Interesting.
It's also very strange to see Wildheart banning away the Uther here from second pick. With Weary Day especially on the team, someone who likes the Uther so much, in my opinion, is just the best Uther we have in the CCL. It's surprising to see that banned away. That kind of implies that they're afraid of Diamond Hands picking an actual first pick Uther, which is something that we pretty much haven't seen at all through any of CCL in this season. So the priorities are changing. It's very specific for these teams. Now 3 supports banned away. We'll see whether Heavy will take the Anduin, which is something that we've been seeing quite a lot lately, or if the support will kind of fall through. There's still options like Rhaegar available for later on in the draft. We'll see whether they prioritize that, if they prioritize the Johanna, and Blaze is still available for the side of Wildheart if they want it. Augur's banned away, so you kind of have the advantage in that. And also Blaze Oil can kind of stall forever. Anubarak's still available. There's just a lot of power picks still up for the map.
We actually had an interview with Kyle Ferguson and Caesar Salad at the start of the season, one of the actual hero review videos that Kyle was doing, and Caesar Salad was talking about Joanna, and Caesar Salad loves where Joanna sits currently within the playstyle and everything. So it was target banned in map number 1 and 2, and for it to be first picked here for Caesar Salad, I'm excited about it. We have that Blaze Sylvanas. I would personally love to see Heavy go for the Stukov here. I think Heavy Stukov is something that, I actually like this a lot more than the Anduin for Stukov, or for Heavy, because he's he looks so comfortable on this hero, Grubby. And then we have Nintori on the URL, which is a great pickup for a map like Alterac.
Yeah, nice goal. We saw Uther win both of the games so far. Maybe that's why it was removed from the rotation that quickly by Wildheart, as they realized, hey, we're both kind of a fan of this hero and we play it well. And Heavy, probably one of the most iconic Stukov players, and now one of the most lost remaining Stukov players. Stukov generally does everything really well, except this one thing, stopping a one-shot. He doesn't have to cleanse, and stopping a one-shot on one of his frontliners can be tough. Luckily, he's got some of the more independent ones. We're not looking at a Diablo, who sometimes when he's out of position looks like a dumb hunk of meat. Yrel has several kinds of self-root, self-cleanse mechanics. She can get movement speed, she can jump away. She's got Absorbent Defender. And then Johanna has the Iron Skin. So hopefully they will not need extraction, and instead we can think aggressively. That's Diamond Hance's thoughts right now.
I'm wondering if Wildheart will go into the Muradin for Haben. It could be a Nubarak as well, because it is Alterac Pass, which we've talked about a ton about a Nubarak's value being able to steal away seconds or even entire objectives by himself. But Haben also is extremely comfortable on that Muradin. There's the Anubarak. We do have the Anduin as well for the poll. I am curious, though, Justin, to see what these next two picks are from the side of Diamond Hands. Will they be going into the hyper carries like Greymane or Sylvanas or something like this? Well, not Sylvanas, because IB has it, but like, will it be main tank, double bruiser, hyper carry? Will we see a mage and some sort of auto attacker? I'm very curious to see what this pick will be from Diamond Hands here, Justin.
Yeah, we could see the Zarya come out from Rutso. He hasn't been able to get it
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
Or the Genji as well. It is the Mayav, so something somewhat new for us to see from Rutso. We have the Yaboy Falstad, which is something we've seen before. Right now, all of Diamond Hands, with the exception of Mayav, has self-healing in their kits. They're all just very self-reliant heroes. And I mean, Mayav not quite doesn't have the sustain, but he is also pretty self-reliant in her own ways. You have wave clear, you have CC, you have mobility. She's kind of just, I mean, she does everything but heal herself on the Mayav. So we have a Genji as the response for Wildheart. A little bit strange, but Wildheart very much committing here to the all-in hard engage. They have the Anduin with the light bomb to be able to deliver that with either the Anubarak or the Genji diving into the backline. That looks pretty strong. Also, in order to actually spread the Stukov heals to make him effective, you do need to clump up to some extent to pass the pathogens around, and that could lead to some good resets for the Genji at level 20 with the X-Strike if we see that come out. So that looks good. Also, there's really no way to stop a one-shot against the Stukov outside of a Falstad Gust. So if they can get onto either Mayav or Falstad or Stukov, pretty much anyone besides the Yrel or Johanna on the side of Diamond Hands would be very susceptible to a mind control if they go that route. But it might just be the Wailing Arrow and they might just commit to the all-in. But Wildheart needs to have very clean, decisive engages because Diamond Hands has a lot of counter-engage tools between the Joe, between the Yrel, all the Stukov stuff, the Gust, tons of disengage versus tons of engage. We'll see if Wildheart has the execution.
That is the one thing that I was thinking about as well here, Justin, with the flailing swipes and the Gust will be huge. Potential falling sword as well for the Johanna, but let's introduce these teams, and we'll start talking about other little factors of the game, because we have Wildheart in the blue, Mason Blaze on the Sylvanas, Zergling on the Blaze, Haben on the Anubarak, and Weary Day on the Anduin, and Ibitings on the Genji. Over on the side of Diamond Hands, Stukov to be played by Hebi, Nintori on the Yrel, Caesar Sal to play Johanna, yeah boy, on the Falstad, and Rutso to play the Maiev. You know, Grubby, with this draft, I'm feeling it for Diamond Hands this time. I do really like what they've picked here. There are very good engage tools, as Justin was mentioning, but I do think that the Gust, the Flailing Swipe, or even the Massive Shove could be the answer to allow Diamond Hands to stay safe in these moments. What are your thoughts on the drafts or potential for Alterac?
I'm excited to see Rutso's NA Maiev coming out here. I want to see how good that is going to be. You believe in it, huh? And in Heavy Stukov.
I do. I also believe in the Yaboy Falstad too. I those three heroes, like, I just believe in all the players playing their roles for Diamond Hands, and I know that's like generic, but like Caesar Salad, I talked about at the start of the draft, like he's on a hero that he's super comfortable with, and he's talked about it. Nintori, great Yrel player, and all the other stuff I've already said. So I think Diamond Hands got this.
Let's see how it goes. Hogger camps are being spammed by both teams here. Diamond Hands about 5 seconds away from getting it a little bit faster than Wildheart. It can sometimes turn against you. Let's see where the Nullpack camp meets. If it's on the left side of the wooden bridge, quite far, then it could even be inside the towers. Especially if Diamond Hands fast clears this wave. It almost looks like they're Yeah, they're deliberately not fast clearing the wave, it looks like, Diamond Hands.
I
See,
like
they're
this.
not hitting it.
This is allowing the enemy null pack to kind of meet over here so it can be cleared out in lane. I really like this tactic coming out from
Oh, that was
Diamond
good.
Hands. Wildheart also being able to do the exact same thing. Shield glares from the Joanna do allow the, does blind out the null pack, so it allows their own, the Diamond Hands side, to push up a little bit further. Condemn from Joanna, Umbral bind onto the Anduin, and Weary Day goes down. First blood to the side of Diamond Hands.
Oh, I've never been as aware of deliberate lane manipulation mechanics as now. And probably it happened before, but I failed to call it out to you guys. So happy to see that here. They wanted to make sure the Hugger camp stays on the bridge when they meet. They knew they took it quicker. They'll get the CD, the cooldown quicker to take the camp again, which is a good thing. But there was that little downside if it arrives too fast. That it dies to the towers. That was cool. And even as they killed Anduin, right? They killed Anduin. And Nubarak was taking -8 armor from the null pack camp. Like, it was an actual factor in the battle and in the survivability of Nubarak, his willingness to step up. So their lane manipulation directly led to a kill.
Also, it's also leading into about a half a level lead as well for the side of Diamond Hands. That fort front gate falling is a little bit of experience. Anduin going down. I also want to point out it was a little thing, but Yeah Boy utilized the flight right after the siege stopped in mid to go right into top lane. A little bit of minion experience was left in the lane, but not much. And Yeah Boy was able to catch that wave and build up the stacks. This is a huge thing I want to talk about because I've been casting a bunch of different Falsteads in different divisions. I've been checking out the Heroes Lounge playoff series right now, and Yeah Boy's Falstead. Twitch chat, look at this. 12 stacks already. That's a lot 3 minutes into a game. 3 minutes.
True.
12
Yeah, that's
stacks,
true.
because you get 0.2 stack per minion, 0.5 per heroic kill. That's
Okay.
huge
So
to
he
me.
has 60 minions, or hero kill counts 2.5 minions. Okay, so he has 60 minions in 3 minutes. There's a wave every 20 seconds.
7 minions per wave.
3 times 7.
You're doing the crazy math, so I'll let you do the math while we talk about the fight in
No,
mid lane.
actually, I complete brain farted. Like, there was actually nothing going on. I heard in my head, like,
just nothing, yeah. Just the
Yeah,
deadpan,
just
but that's what happens, Twitch chat. That's what happens. When you're casting, you're like, oh, I can do the math, and then your brain just goes blank.
I was trying to see what percentage of the total minions he got.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
hero kills didn't count. I do believe it's like 70-80%, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Like on a 3-lane map. And then hero kills filled in the gaps, I guess. But yeah,
And it's
he's
only
been
one.
doing good.
He's been doing very good is the big thing that I really want to point out here for the Falstead player, because I've seen Falstead players who nearly hit 30-35 stacks by the end of like a 20-minute game. So, and that was like Infernal Shrines, I think, was the game I was casting. But let's talk about this one right here, Diamond Hands Wildheart. It's 1-1 in our score for this best of 5 series. As a reminder, this is a lower bracket matchup. Loser of the series goes home in 4th place. Winner goes up against Oxygen Esports tomorrow morning in a best of 5 in the lower bracket finals to determine our grand final team up against 30k. But that's in the future. In the present, we have Diamond Hands with a lead by that level or so, looking for 10 talent tier first.
Nice anticipation. Heavy knew exactly where that target was going to get yoinked towards. He prepared that silencing arm for the Maiev chain already. Good synergy. Diamond Hands, they're going to get level 10 earlier. They're channeling the objective. I'd be very surprised if Diamond Hands didn't get this objective.
20 seconds remain on the channel time. IB is going to jump into the bush. Haven looking for the channel. When a hero channels the objective, it stalls it out. It pauses the timer. When a jailer, the little blue guys, the alliance members, the gross alliance members, when they channel it, there's no pause, but they can actually pause the timer after that full duration. But that's not going to happen. First objective and 10 talent here over to the side of Diamond Hands. Want to point out, Massive Shove, Ardent Defender, Falling Sword, Gust, and Containment Disc. A lot of really, really, really good controlling and assisting talents, heroics for the members of Diamond Hands. On the Wildheart side, I'm curious to see what they go for.
What happens if you Mighty Gust someone to the left and then Stukov is standing to the left and he pushes them to the right? Can he push them through the wind, or is there too much wind force?
I feel like you would push them through the wind, wouldn't you?
I think so.
Collide. So it's extend Stukhov's arm. If it hits an enemy hero, they rapidly are shoved until they collide with terrain. So yeah.
Are you thinking that it's gonna say like, if it does go into a mighty gust, the arm takes precedence?
I was looking to see if it said like if the tooltip had any sort of like unstoppable or anything like that. Like oh, the unit pushed is unstoppable until they hit terrain or something like that. So it's like they wouldn't be stunned out by like a Stormbolt from Murden midway or a Jet Propulsion or even an Uther Hammer of Justice. Ivy is able to get away right there from the Umbral Bind that was applied to him. This top lane pressure is going to be the last cavalry. And unlike earlier today with 30k and Oxygen, this is going to be a first objective that gets some damage onto the forts. No structures to fall just yet.
We have some maths coming in from chat from Max Potato. Every minute, a map spawns 63 minions.
Okay.
That stacks equivalent to 60 minions by minute 3. He soaked 1/3 of the total minions spawned. It doesn't sound that impressive.
I like.
If it's
Oh
true,
no!
What?
The math doesn't make it as impressive as I chalked it up to be, but still, 26 stacks for the Falstad. I don't know if Urel can press R, and she cannot. The Heroic will be on a 2-minute cooldown. Though IB in top lane, how much HP? Enough that a Shield Glare doesn't kill. 300 and something HP as I clicked on him. I think 375 was the lowest I saw it go. But a Urel kill in bottom lane will push up that experience and allows the Sylvanas to amplify the siege with the Black Arrows. Fort front gate will fall. Our next objective should be announced pretty soon. Everyone will be up and available, and we should have all heroics available as well. Falstad flies to bottom to pick up the experience.
Shove away on Blaze there. Diamond didn't get any forward with the first objective, but in the aftermath of it, with the pressure they did, they managed to get top. Mid and bot are pretty low as well. Is Heavy gonna follow up on that Warden's case with the silencing arm? Yeah, but more of a gesture. Like, there was no follow-up possible. There were too many people for Wildheart here.
I have a question for you, Grubby, but I'm waiting to see if Yabo is going to get gains. There's a lot of difficult talents throughout this game, abilities, combos, you know, like Kel'Thuzad, you know, chaining, all of that comboing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I always find Virulent Reaction to be one of the hardest things to just nail down, and that's Heavy has that level 13. So I just want to point out that it's a really, really good combo talent, but I feel like it's just there's so much skill, mechanical skill that goes into being able to just get someone locked down by hitting them with the weighted pustule and then the lurking arm, all that kind of stuff. So I just want to give kudos to all the Stukov players out there who can actually get value from Virulent Reaction, because I never can.
Yeah, I used to be able to do it, and now I can't anymore. I don't know why. Did the meta get more mobile, or did I just not play him enough anymore? Like, now it's just become intimidating to even try it anymore. But yeah, I used to get it. I do think it's very, very difficult
I'm gonna blame it on lag.
For sure.
I think it's just lag right there. So, anyways, objective phase channeled by the side of Wildheart Esports. We have the stall, 30-some seconds. We have the Jailers getting that stall as well. Don't know if anyone will be interrupted. Haben going to be trying to. Blaze gets the stall. We still have 25 seconds channeling for the side of Wildheart Esports. Can Diamond Hand step in here? Equal talent tier, and Genji does finish his Shuriken Mastery from level 4.
Caesar Salad goes back in. He doesn't have Iron Skin. He does have Iron Skin. He doesn't have Falling Sword anymore. Intori and Caesar Salad survive the Light Bomb. They're still Wailing Arrow. Watch Sylvanas. Ace Blaze, he's so deep in. Is he gonna Wailing? Nope.
Cocoon, and that's it. Nice. I'm glad that they held the Wailing. The X-Strike is held as well. And here comes the objective phase from Wildheart. Do you want to hear into Wildheart comms and see how they push with this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Into Wildheart we go.
Bottom push.
I'm gonna grab this fast and come mid.
Yeah, mid's gonna hit wall now.
Okay. I'm gonna push on top then. Just be careful, bot. Lot bottom. My mid. I mean, you guys push.
Don't see Joe. Probably coming down. We're showing for bottom.
My Ev is half clear, so Stukov, we just wanna hit as much as we can. I'm gonna push this in. One more wave.
Can we hit Euro when he does this? Nice. We should be able to get for it. They might run an armored for it.
Can we push mid?
Oh, yeah.
They're coming top. Careful.
Yeah, can we push mid as a team after that?
Yeah.
Yeah, bitter.
I'm gonna get one more bottom.
I'm gonna go to
can I?
camp. I'm gonna
Or
go to
no?
camp actually. I'm gonna grab this wave.
Yeah. Gate.
Alright, come in then.
Vibe here. Two mid.
Careful,
This?
me on camp. Oh, it's still alive.
You're okay.
He's nice. Bottom's almost cleared. I really want to do this camp on cooldown. Can we look at boss?
Do it. That's fine.
No,
You can also
it's
look
one
boss.
yet.
If they get me 4, they get me 4, right?
Yeah, false side
Yeah.
just starts up.
They're walking
Start.
top.
They're
Top
walking
maybe.
top. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, we take mid fort with this boss.
Yeah, we
okay?
push mid. Push mid and then defend bot. Or defend top, sorry.
You guys tank it, bro? I want to kill him up.
Good call, good observation, good macro coming out from the side of Wildheart with what they want to do. 2 steps ahead of what they're actually doing. I really like hearing comms and calls like that, Grubby.
Yeah, that sounded pretty good. It was a bit weird to take boss into mid fort. That's quite unusual, unorthodox. We take boss to take mid fort. No, but it's a distraction, of course. Obviously, just joking. Lol, funny. So Wildheart, they're defending top and they're pushing with mid, but there's a 4-man defense. So basically, the equal play by Diamond Hands also defending with 1, defending with 4 in the center, fighting over it. They want to keep mid fort alive. Anubarak, 600 life, 480. He's won.
He's won, but he's not
lost.
gonna be dead. Man, the Elun's Wrath from level 7, almost getting the kill from the Maiev with the Fan of Knives, but that still will be Sylvanas going down, bunker down from the Blaze. Now, what do the members of Diamond Hands do with this? They've got Falstad, who just cleared the boss in bottom. Boss in top lane just got cleared out. It seems like this is going to be a double fort phase, maybe even a kill into Zergling. Umbral Bind, a lurking arm, Yrel with the Avenging Wrath, but Zergling gets the Jet Propulsion away. Falstad still pushing up bottom lane, 22 seconds on the objective. I do think you can go bottom lane fort here. Or is it just positioning for the objective? Maybe it's a kill right here onto Blaze.
Oh, that was sick. Nice play actually by Rutso. He almost got the leap of faith pullback disconnection. And I still think it's true what you said. I still think they could go for bottom fort, but you know what? Falstad is going to do it by himself.
He's got Gust, he's got Flight, and he's got the tools to be able to take down this structure. He's not even activating his Tailwind right now to do this. So Fort goes down, channeling the objective. Macro-wise, things are getting better and better to Diamond Hands in this late game. I also want to point out, it's 1-2 in kills. Compared to map 1 and 2, this is a lot more... I wouldn't say like it's like a deathless game, but yes, thank you. Yes, there's a lot more pacificity, I think is the right way you say that, between these two teams. And nerves. There's a lot of nerves here. They don't want to overextend. Maev's got a lot of controls. So does Nubrak and many heroes in this game. But let's look into this fight right now, Grubby, with the massive shove from Stukov.
Yeah, Nintori, the space goat, 1v5ing, no problem.
Containment disc onto 1. Jet Propulsion in from Blaze, a lot of damage. X-Strike, Wailing Arrow. We still have Falling Sword available. Ardent Defender was already used. That's the Anubarak to fall. Great Righteous Hammer from Nintori to set that up. The Umbra Bind from the Maiev does pull in the Blaze. He drops the bunker. Lurking Arm on the far side. But it's just one of those lose-lose situations for Blaze. Anubarak, Blaze go down. I'm checking the timers on camps. Bosses are up in about 2 minutes. Null packs are up in about 30 seconds each. A little bit more, so actually 45 on the right, 26 on the left. But this is objective to the members of Diamond Hands' third one, of the game.
So far, Heavy Stukov is looking pretty good. Ratso's Maiev is looking really good.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Really cool try. Nice disc try.
All right, Yrel is in bottom, Maiev is pushing up top, Falstad getting more stacks through mid, and I want to point out, Vault of the Wardens just got a secondary charge. You see that on the top left of your screen. That is from Maiev hitting level 20, but we also have the Wind Tunnel. When push comes to shove, the Heaven's Fury, as well as the Seraphim, Maiev, she's going into Shadow Orb Huntress.
Shadow Orb Huntress, okay. Bye, I have a joke.
Oh wait, not yet?
Wait, not yet. What do you call it when Maiev hits a containment on someone, but the team is not ready to follow up?
I don't know. What do you call Maiev hitting a containment and the team is not ready to follow up?
A disconnect.
I actually like that quite a bit. That was very, very good. 10 out of 10 from me. Twitch chat, I better see some lulls. No cringe. No, not like this. Just all lulls, all cut W's. As we do have mid lane sieging in. Keep is dropping down to around 25% HP. The objective phase has been cleared out through mid, but here's the big thing to note. Bottom lane has an objective here. That's going to get shredded quite quickly, and the Keep front gate is still up as well. Can the members of Diamond Hands sustain this push? A new Brack flank and 20 talent here just about to be here.
Genji's coming over. He's coming over.
Yrel does push around the Anubrak. There was a containment disc onto Sylvanas. Genji putting pressure onto Yrel. She's got Ardent Defender available. Wind Tunnel still available as well. I feel like I feel like I haven't seen like a Gust all game from Falstad. Not that it like hasn't been used, but it almost seems like it hasn't been necessary.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that may have been one of the first Gusts, and he's got Wind Tunnel now, so that's a great tool to fight for boss. But because he's used it, they're gonna trade boss slightly faster for Wildheart. But the macro situation for Diamond Hand is so good that I could see them getting a keep off of this and also saving their keep.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think by the time boss is grabbed, yeah. Like, I think Falstad easily can just go clear things out. He can activate Tailwind. He's got 52 stacks on that level 1. He's easier. You can already see, boy, Hearthing back.
If everyone defends for Wildheart, can they save their keep?
If everyone defends from Wildheart, can they save their keep? About 35,000 on the boss. Yeah, I think it's doable. I definitely think it's doable.
Especially if you like stand melee soon and you force a slam, like it just did the slam. I wonder if there's a cooldown to do another slam before it reaches the, yeah, there we go. Those slams are so costly. Noob boss.
I'm actually counting in game. It timed out perfectly. I'm curious to see. So it's about an 8-second cooldown for the slam, I do believe, because at 18:0 it did one, and it was like 18:08 is when it did another slam. So I think it's about an 8-second cooldown from when the boss slams to the next one available. But there's the top lane keep saved. Bottom lane keep looking about the same as top lane keep on the opposing side. A few seconds channeled from Diamond Hands, but we have the counter channel, and now this is important. I really quickly want to point out, in top lane, we actually have a minion wave on that keep, which will deal more damage to that, taking it down to... Actually, it's getting quite low here, but there is a minion wave that will kind of take over defending. Either way, Grubby, Jet Propulsion starts out on Johanna.
Johanna being very safe in front, does use Iron Skin, 22-second cooldown on that. Now still 16 seconds left, gonna have to play a bit safer. Heavy gonna not interrupt. That was Caesar Salad. Now Nintori goes in, uses Seraphim. Absorbing as well, presses R, is a space goat that got scared. There's a cocoon. Yo, Fancy Pants just going core?
Yeah. I actually, because look at this, look at Heavy right now. Heavy doesn't have the talent that stops the lurking arm, so Heavy can indefinitely just stand there, but he also needs to heal up his allies, so he will cancel out the lurking arm. There's the channel and the objective. Yeah, boy, he's going to be able to get that top lane keep. He's going to be flying on in as well. Gust is up and available. False. Oh, Mason Blaze, or Nintori's getting very low. Now, look at Falstad. He's got the Wind Tunnel onto the Anduin in the backline. Weird Day getting very low, trying to get into the bunker, but he cannot do so. That's healer for healer. Stukov does go down. Genji deflecting. He's very low, and that is Genji to fall. Nintori is around 25% HP, but Nintori doesn't care. I don't even think you need objective. I think you go mid and end game, and you take map number 3 on the side of Diamond Hands, put yourself up in this best of 5 series, and set yourself up to knock out Wildheart. But that does not seem like it's the call. It's the safe, slow play from Diamond Hands. They're going objective.
I was wondering if you could take Nullpack Camp and end off of that. I guess the problem is that it's Sylvanas and Nubarak that are alive.
True.
If it was like Genji Anduin, maybe you can do it, but maybe Sylv has too much wave clear on the Nullpack. She just throws a Banshee Curse Haunting Wave from afar.
These Knolls are really gonna... Oh, okay, this is split. Knolls, by the way, have 50 physical armor for anyone that does not know. That's how they can take so much damage. And, by the way, Vandar Stormpike can die to the Null Pack, and it seems like this is an investment onto Yeah Boy, but the Falling Sword, the Wind Tunnel's a touch too late. The mid lane, the top lane, still, Vandar Stormpike is losing HP. More waves are coming in, and the objective is still being channeled. This is what I was talking about. Like, the Reaver minions, they tank so much freaking damage. 6,000 HP. If Falstad just flew in here with the minion waves, they actually would have ended.
Yep. Well, it's still going to end. It's definitely still gonna be game over now.
Okay. Vandar didn't get the initial health regain, but he's starting to gain his health right now around 5,000. That's going to be a Light Bomb X-Strike going in from the Genji Containment Disc onto the Anubarak as Yaboy is getting low, gets the Healing Pathogen from Heavy. Nintori jumps in the backline trying to put pressure onto Haven, who does burrow charge onto Yaboy. Lurking Arm from the Stukov, double vault from the Maiev as she's trying to get away. Wailing Arrow does set up the kill, but there's a Nubarak traded out. Here comes the Cavalry. Vandar Stormpike at 14,000 HP. Goomba Stomp from Nintori. It's a double kill to the side of Diamond Hands. Make it a triple kill as they move to core and take map number 3 in our best of 5 knockout lower bracket matchup. GG, well played.
Man, that was a fun, convincing game here. Really turned up the pressure. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yep.
A great game by both teams, and Diamond Hands definitely, they played great.
Diamond Hands played extremely well. I do think there were some really good shining moments from Wildheart throughout that. It was 3-10 at the end, but still, I think Wildheart had a few moments where they were kind of rallying and bringing it back, but in the end, it is going to be the members of Diamond Hands in the advantage of this series, potentially knocking Wildheart into 4th place. Of course, Justin, you're back, you're here, and you're here, ready to break down everything that is Alterac Pass.
Yeah, it just felt like Diamond Hands was completely comfortable across the board with all of their picks. Like, this is just everything that they could want for the most part for each player. You've got Hebi on Stukov, his signature support that you can pretty much get for free these days. Nintori playing Urel, something he's known for. Caesar Salad has become kind of known for the Johanna since the Falling Sword reworks. It's just all of these players are getting things that they're so confident on, so comfortable with, and their composition that is kind of just it's nearly impossible to actually get through their defenses. They have so many tools for disengage. They have the Gust, they have the Iron Skin, they have the Falling Sword. It's just way too much. And for them to look for picks, it's very easy to look for engages. All you need is Rutso throwing out a disc. As soon as a disc connects, they can look for any kind of just a Stukov route follow-up with the 13. They can look for anything to follow it up. Haven on the Anubarak really struggling, you could tell, into the side of Diamond Hands, just into all those layers of defense. They even have the shove if things get a little bit too scary. Haven kind of getting bullied here on the Anubarak. Anubarak, a very squishy tank. There's really no good target to cocoon here. You're never really going to be in a position where you can get onto Heavy in the backline. You had here Haven escaping with 1 HP, but he's so low you can't do anything after that. And Diamond Hands just playing so well together there. Nintori literally just knocking him away from the bunker. Zergling trying to help, knocking Mason Blaze away from the bunker, not allowing him to get into it. As soon as the engage is failed by Wildheart, Diamond Hands can just steamroll through them with their sustain. This was the last fight where you had an insane fly in after getting the top keep for the side of Diamond Hands with Yaboy. You have supports traded over, and the Gust into the backline onto Weary Day. He can't get into the bunker either. Yaboy basically soloing out Weary Day on the backline. Heavy going down for the side of Diamond Hands. But in this situation, you have all these characters that have a bunch of self-sustain. They're all really self-reliant. I talked about that during the draft. When it's a healer for a healer traded out, that massively favors Diamond Hands. And they put Wildheart once again in a checkmate situation in the late game. It was a nice try by Mason Blaze trying to get the pick in the 2v3 to defend the objective. But as soon as the objective is channeled, there is no coming back from it. As we talked about it earlier, the objective on this map is just so strong, especially into the late game. You can't give them the objective post level 20, so Wildheart felt like they needed to take that fight, and Diamond Hands kind of just winning on all fronts. There was that time where the Gust, the Wind Tunnel, was used at level 20, and to me that should be Wildheart going, okay, they don't have Wind Tunnel, we need to just go fight them. But they ended up trading bosses and a null camp for just boss. In situations like that, it kind of shows where the teams are at mentally with the macro, because Wildheart passive, Diamond Hands, they're getting an advantage. Well, they should be getting a disadvantage, and that's kind of what makes some teams that's what makes the difference here. Diamond Hands finding ways to get advantages, even when they really just on paper shouldn't be.
I'm a little blown away by how well Diamond Hands played that, Grubby. Like, I actually think Diamond Hands, it almost seemed like they had an answer for every single, like, tactic and play that Wildheart threw at them throughout Alterac Pass. Like, yes, that is 3-10 in kills, but I do feel like Diamond Hands, like, they could kind of see through the mist. They were like, ah, yes, I see through the fog. I know exactly what Wildheart's going to be doing as they're attempting to make some sort of backline dive, or even Sylvanas with Haunting Waves, or even massive Wailing Arrow plays. It was just so well read by Diamond Hands.
Yeah, and considering how good Diamond Hands is at macro in general, you saw what Fancy Pants did with Valstad, which you foreshadowed is going to be looking good. It really feels like Johanna has a really high priority in the tank meta, especially with Falling Sword, because you can have all forms of good engage, and Johanna nullifies 1 to 2 engage for a team. So here, I really agree with what you said, Justin. You were like, Mighty Gus is down. Why trade boss? You're 2 keeps against 5 keeps, and you're trading boss, even though you know Mighty Gus isn't there. But like, they probably felt the squeeze of not being able to get the engage against Falling Sword, right? Like, they were just running after them and not getting anything.
Yeah, it felt nearly impossible to lock down Diamond Hands for Wildheart, and they need to get those engages, and Diamond Hands just, it's like they're just getting brick-walled every single time by all the different things that Diamond Hands had.
Well, we're going to be going to a bit of a different map here. Let's go ahead and get you all caught up as to where we're heading to from map number 4 in our second best of 5 of the day. We are going to Battlefield of Eternity, chosen by Diamond Hands here. And if you're wondering about some map stats, I got you covered. Homies. I was going to say everyone at home, but you know what? All my homies, I got you covered. We have 3-1 map score for Wildheart Esports, and over on the side of Diamond Hands, hey, a 3-1 map score. So obviously, Grubby, this will be the most even matchup all day because the map scores are the same, right?
Yep, I think so. And we're going to go to level 23, equal levels. One core is going to be 47% health, and the other one will fall. It's going to be close. Won't tell you which one.
Okay, so 1 equals 47%. Okay, all right, I'm writing it down. It's noted in my notebook. If it doesn't happen, I don't know, man. I guess the people in the Wisdom Gaming Studios will have to send you and I and Justin some pizzas for being incorrect.
I will give you 1 sub on your stream if it doesn't happen. But if it does...
If it does, I'll give you 1 sub on your stream.
Huh? What? I mean, which one's more likely?
Fair.
What is this?
Those are pretty good odds.
Yeah, you don't have to take it.
I'm gonna take you up on it, and I'm gonna be right. Anyways, we're getting ready for this Battlefield of Eternity matchup. And so, Justin, I want to talk about mentals here, because we talk about mentals from time to time, and we always say, like, okay, it's a best of 5 series, take 1 map at a time. But I'm curious, because you've played in CCL, I feel like you might have even been in this situation before as well. It is potentially your final game of the season as Wildheart. Is this... you bring out the craziest thing that you've been holding to the side, or is it you play standard, you play comforts? How would you lead the team for Wildheart in a situation like this where it is do or die in map number 4 for your season life?
So if you have anything that you've been holding back, that you've really wanted to show that you haven't been able to, that you felt was super top secret, then yeah, this is where you would bring that out. If you have any very, very special like cheese comp prepared for this moment, but if not, you really just want to pick something that you're as comfortable as possible on. You want your whole team to have just comfort picks. You can't give them just the best, most perfect meta comp ever, but you need to prioritize the meta picks first, and then if you have anyone who plays things that they're kind of a one trick on, that they're most comfortable on, just play that and give everyone kind of an opportunity to carry the game. Because if you're nervous, which Wildheart I've talked about has felt like they couldn't close out games, like they let the nerves get the best of them in these high pressure situations. This is about as high pressure of a situation as it can possibly get, especially when we get into the late game of this game. That could be the last game for Wildheart if they lose. I'm hoping they pick something that they're comfortable with so that they don't crack under the pressure.
And I want to actually throw it right back to you, Justin, as well, for some draft theory here. If you were the draft leader for the side of Wildheart, as we do have first pick priority to the side of Wildheart in this hypothetical, actually in reality as well, what are you going to be leaning into for your draft? What's your priority heroes to grab, or even, what would you like put people on? Like, we'd be like, all right, Zergling, you're playing this, or Mason Blaze, you're on this. Like, do you have any sort of draft theory you could share?
Try to enable Mason Blaze. This is a map where we saw Diamond Hands play the double support composition to a lot of success. They are a team that should be able to play double support. They have Wariday who can play Uther. If he can get it, I would take the Uther. I would just put Ivy Tinks or Mason on something like a Vala. Just enable Mason Blaze in particular, I'd say. Try to get him something that he's comfortable with. And like even the Tyrael again could be fine, even though it's not a map where you can collect globes. Just empower the players who can carry the game, who have kind of had that ability in the past.
For anyone wondering, Justin's camera just froze right there, but he's still going to be with us, so we're just going to be moving to 2cam really quickly until we get into our next map, which should be fairly soon. We had a little bit of a lobby hiccup right there, but I think we should be okay in just a second to get into Battlefield of Eternity. So that should be the game plan from Wildheart Esports to enable Mason Blaze. I want to get your thoughts here as well, Grubby, as we're getting ready for map number 4. Thoughts on just the series, the map, or even what could potentially happen here?
Wildheart is under the gun. They're 1 map away. They need to put Mason Blaze on Tyrael again.
Yeah. But will he get
had-
as much value with globes though? Like, is the globes is that a critical factor? Because it's a two-lane map.
Yeah, true.
You can get a couple globes here and there, but
He had 55 globes, which gives 55% bonus healing on his 10-tiered. I do damage. I'm now getting regeneration. Still, 55% or 30%. The difference is not even 25. You know, it's less because it's 155, 130. So I think it's okay if you have half the globes. Like that spec material is still really, really strong. Of course, it's not super. It's as we bring Justin back and we go into the draft. It's not like super Battlefield good because he doesn't race that well, and Tyrael generally is not going to be your solo off lane. So he's part of a 3-man front line. And it's definitely a tough map to run Tyrael on. I do think he doesn't bring as much on this map. But still, I think you can do it.
Well, we'll see who's going to be able to do it because we're into our draft and we will get into our bans as well. Welcome back, Justin. We've got you moving around and everything as well. And let's see what we get here ban-wise. I feel like I said it in the last draft. I think Caesar Salad has one of the best Joannas in the game, and I also think that, or in CCL, I also think that Heavy has got the best Stukov, and that is going to be respect banned out. I cannot blame the members of Wild Heart Esports to respect out that Stukov, Justin.
Yeah, you can't deny how strong the Stukov has been for Heavy specifically. Kind of makes it just look better than everyone else's. And so Uther is the thing that I was expecting the priority on. You still have the Lucio banned away, which where he's also quite strong on. Nintori Zirel will be target banned, so yeah, it's all about comfort picks in this moment. It's all about just denying comfort. You don't want to have a millisecond of reaction time. You want everything to be completely muscle memory because you're going to end up in a situation where you're basically just running on adrenaline. You're running on kind of how many times you've been in this type of situation before. You're not able to think about everything. It's kind of just hope that all of your practice and everything has kind of allowed your fingers to just do the thinking for you once it gets into those high pressure situations, because no one is thinking purely objectively when you're in those situations. It's all of your practice kind of comes down to which teams can kind of survive under that pressure. As it is a first pick Hanzo, a easy to play playstyle coming out from the beginning for Wild Heart.
But this does open up the opportunity for Caesar Salad to grab the Joanna here, and that's the one thing that I'm a little afraid of, because Joanna on a map like this, Grubby, is very good. Double shield glare reduces auto attack damage onto the objective racing. But of course, right wing, not a bad pickup with it. Ooh, a Muradin actually. Okay, I still like this, Grubby.
It's not much of a kite backwards macro map, right? Because it's not not 3-laned and huge. Muradin brings a bit more siege damage on the Immortal. Gonna get the Diablo and Hogger. I was actually kind of expecting the Diablo Brightwing coming in from Diamond Hands, but on the other hand, Brightwing is a soft counter to Diablo. She tends to polymorph him after he shadow charges, removing the ability for him to do an overpower or all too many fire stomps. So I guess that's why they were okay going Brightwing Muradin first.
Polymorph interrupts Hog Wild, right? Or do you just turn into a crab spinning, right?
No, you can't cast it at all. You can't even
okay,
pick it.
that's what I thought. I was just like, hold on, I'm misremembering something here. Okay, thank you. So it is.
But
so it's not going to be something.
You can. I think what you're thinking is you can stop Hog Wild before it starts. So like everything Hogger does has like a wind up. Yeah.
So So you can lock Zergling in place if he is that Hogger player. But of course, Justin, we're getting into another ban phase. Junkrat ban, which is a little surprising to me, but I guess it kind of synergizes a bit with Diablo and Hogger with a lot of just control around the objective phase area.
Yeah, it's especially for the Muradin. Caesar Salad is going to want to be able to feel comfortable in the middle of the map, scouting brushes and being able to just scout out the opponent in general. Right now, there's already a ton of CC between the Hogger and the Diablo that really threatens a Muradin, trying to scout and try to anchor for his team. So if there's the chance that you could just walk into a brush and eat a Junkrat trap, that's very scary. We have the double support coming out with the Vala or Diamond Hands, a very similar setup to what we saw them play against Chili Mountain in their final match against them to qualify for this. So double support here, very scary. Vala double support with Uther, very scary. Brightwing is not the absolute best support with it, but it's not bad. It's okay. It's decent, and it was still a good deny pick to not allow them to pair that with the Diablo. The Li Ming comes out alongside the Ana. Very strange to see the Ana come out, but it does have the anti-heal grenade. In general, I'm really not a big fan of Ana as solo support. I think she's very vulnerable to dives. She's very vulnerable to the flanks. This is strange, but we could see if Falstad still come out here as the last pick for Diamond Hands, and I think that would be about the best thing they could pick. Having some level of engage against the Ana is very valuable, and even with the double support composition, having something that allows you to do that, the Chen. So super weird, but it does fill the offlane role.
It's also a really good... Chen's got a lot of good utility for his allies as well. Enough to Share is a great talent as well for just, you know, that Clover goes around, everyone gets a little bit of shielding. Wandering Keg is a great displacement tool on heroes that want to dive in, like Hogger and Diablo. I think the Chen is a really cool tech at the end, though Justing, I need to get your breakdown to your analysis as we're heading into map number 4. Could be the final map of the day, could be the final map of Wild Hearts Season 4.
So Diamond Hands composition should be significantly easier to play. They have the double support alongside an Uther and a Brightwing, which should both have good abilities with their armor to save people from getting one-shot by Li Ming. You also now have Nintori, who is kind of known for his Chen, playing something that we very rarely see, but he has the spell power reduction at level 4, which is very, very strong into the Li Ming hyper carry. He also has the ability to go into either ultimate to punish the Ana, and if Weary doesn't have perfect healing, anti-healing grenades, I think it's going to be really hard to get the one-shots. All Diamond Hands need to do is to survive a one-shot, and they should be able to win fights. But Wildheart has the poke. It's going to be much more difficult to execute for the side of Wildheart.
Alrighty, well, let's see if that is going to be happening here. Wildheart in the blue. As I mentioned, this is a critical map for this team. Zergling on the Hogger. Mason Blaze to play the Li Ming. Ivy Ting's on the Hanzo. Haben will be playing Diablo, and Weary Day on the Ana. Over on the side of Diamond Hands, we've got a Retso Uther, Nintori Chen, Hebi on the Brightwing, Caesar Salad on Muradin, and yeah boy, playing that auto attack Vala. Yes, auto attack Vala. She is not going to be going into the Q build, auto attack Vala. Though Grubby, I feel like Diamond Hands can close things out here. They got the momentum, they got the skill, and I think they've got the know-how to do this. What are your thoughts here? As I know you were thinking about a potential last Zarya there, and I was right there with you, man.
Yeah, thought it was going to be Ratso's pick in that final slot there, going in with the Zarya. The Ana was already there to kind of stop layered supports, but you know Zarya doesn't really care about Biotic Grenade because shields still matter. They went instead with the Chen, also a kind of shield, by enough to share at level 13. And what's also cool is that Chen, he's kind of because I've played drafts like this, Li Ming and Hanzo into a Chen, and he's kind of one of the best. Actually, funnily enough, together with Muradin, at absorbing shots from Hanzo and Li Ming and not dying. Nice Biotic Grenade, that's a kill. So let's say, for instance, if the Immortal's on the left side and you have Wildheart shooting from the Bruiser Camp location, magic missiles, Chen will stand in between and block those shots, and he can do so almost indefinitely with the shields.
I'm just also looking at the map setup right now. I love the quick call from Wildheart to be able to grab the camp in bottom lane once they get that kill onto Uther, because they know Diamond Hands will not step in to try and be aggressive, not try and aggress that, as Yeah Boy continues to step forward here, wanting to keep that hatred up, wanting to keep those stacks coming in. Already at 20 stacks on Creed the Hunter. You don't get your you don't actually get your first % increase until you get to 50 stacks. So right now it's just going to be 0 hatred bonus stack until that 50 mark where you get 1%. Meanwhile though, look at the minimap, everybody. We have a mass rotation in the top lane. Hogger, oh, they're doing a swap here. Seems like there might be an attempt to kill Chen in top lane. If we can take a look at top lane right now, Chen gonna get the stagger going. But also I like this because Wildheart could look for the camp in top lane. Though in bottom lane, as we jump back down over there, Hogger almost dead. Hogger, Hungering Arrow? No, not enough.
If it was Q build.
If it was Q build, wouldn't have died still.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't have died.
So, Haben?
Some people may be like super confused that Vala doesn't have Q build because it's PoE, exclamation mark, 1111. But, you know, this is better for the team fight, better for... You're kind of griefing... You're kind of griefing your double support team when you go Q builds because you're supposed to have reach to kill multiple people when you're the solo ranged assassin with double support. And Death Dealer does that because you get vault resets. And this really allows you to get multiple kills. People get splash damage from Muradin, from Chen, from Vala, and then you start finishing them off with 700 damage crit on vault, on auto attack. And yeah, Q doesn't have the same reach. You'll pretty much like kill 1 or 2 people max. And this kind of Vala with AA, because she doesn't need to take Monster Hunter at 7, she has more movement speed, she can pretty much kill everybody. That's what you need from a hyper carry.
I actually do like the auto attacks for the Vala right there. I was yelling about Li Ming earlier because she almost got scouted out by the Chen, but this is going to be Hanzo getting knocked into the wall. That's a huge biotic grenade to reduce the healing. A lot of damage onto Vala. She wants to not die here. Hogger will kill the Vala, which means she loses 1 stack on her Gambit. She'll be at 20% bonus attack speed as she lost 5% from that first death. Baseline being 25%. As the Immortal phase is going to be in the second half, we'll see the Immortals on race potential side. The race is going to be a little bit faster from Wildheart. Looks like Wildheart will get the first Immortal of the game. Ana going into the Sleep Dart build, and she'll be able to land a Sleep Dart onto a few enemies there. 5,940 shielding for the Immortal. Baseline 12,900 HP. And this Immortal hits for 1,044 damage into structures.
That was really nicely done by Wildheart. Also a cool display of Weary Day. His biotic grenades have been good, and Sleep Dart can do some nice immortal damage reduction. There's that polymorph counter that I talked about in draft. Otherwise, it would have been an overpower into the boss stun. It shows that Haven is very aware of the boss stun and mechanic and timings. So nice job by him.
Also want to point out the level 4 for the Chen right there. He did go into that Withering Flames for the 60% spell power reduction for 4 seconds, which does affect the healing of Ana as well if he is going to be utilizing it on her, or even the Li Ming for her spell power in general. But of course, that'll be the Immortal getting the fort front gate and bottom, and it'll be getting about 50% of the keep, or the fort, as a fight over the bottom lane camp might happen. Actually, no camp is being worked on. It's all a feign. Great Stormbolt over the far side of the wall as Yaboy continues to auto-attack in. 1 stack of Creed done right there, so you get that 1% to a total of 6% at 300 stacks, but that might take a little bit. I'm curious, Grubby, have you ever hit the 300 stacks yourself?
With Vala?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think my highest must have been 250 or so.
I remember casting a game with Bad Benny. Bad Benny played a Vala auto attack. I think it was Infernal Shrines, and he hit the 300 stacks by like 10, 12 minutes. It was something crazy. I remember just losing my mind.
Was griefing then, like
it could have been. It could have been. I don't think Benny was getting poked at too much, but what's happening right here is that's Diablo getting poked down too much. Souls reset, so it's 100 souls consumed. Oh, Chen kicks in. Caesar salad goes over the wall.
Keep going.
And we keep going, ladies and gentlemen. That might be multi-shot Hungering Arrow. Good healing out from Weary Day.
If it was Hungering Arrow build,
yeah,
he wouldn't have gone Hanzo because he wouldn't have had enough movement speed and vault to keep up with the rest of the team and so on.
I agree. But the Immortal phase will be spawning here, and Diamond Hands will be in position to race. We do have both teams with all heroes available. No heroics yet, because we're still about a level and a sliver away from 10s.
Small little lead for Diamond Hands there. Not a lot of structure damage. They got a bunch of cool, exciting fights and kills. Nintori has a lot of damage. Right wing comes in. Kind of cool. Kind of cool to see that happening because he had like a good 2,000-3,000 staggered damage from that level, from that E ability.
Stagger is so very good right there. We will also see the Brewmaster's balance at level 7 for the Chen, so you also get movement speed below 50 brew, and above 50 brew you regain 26 HP every second. I do believe that scales, so we'll keep an eye on that and see how much it's scaling up later on in the game. But half a level to 10s for side of Wildheart, a little less on the side of Diamond Hands, who step in for the race.
It's a free 50%. Chen just pushed a wave and a bruiser camp. Hogger's forced to go there. No, I mean, it's 50%. There was some damage already done by Wildheart, so they're not too bothered about this.
So we'll get to this 50. We'll see Panda Pals for the Chen, so no Wandering Keg. The big spinny shooty shot, as I like to call it, for Vala. And nothing really out of the ordinary. I guess I will say that we do have Lightning Breath and Nano. You can actually Nano boost the Lightning Breath, which is kind of cool, but I expect it to go into Li Ming realistically.
Didn't quite get the wall stun on Chen. Meanwhile, a stun on Hogger. Hogger goes down. Nice job.
100 stacks for Vala. Storm Earth and Fire.
I think that's the first time I've seen de-shielded Panda Pals.
I didn't even notice it. It must have. Did he Divine Shield the Storm Earth and Fire, or was it Chen before it?
Yeah, he
okay,
divine
okay.
shielded Chen, which gave the cover to actually become Storm, Earth, and Fire. It's a really
Gotcha.
safe way to do the transformation.
Okay, I thought you were saying that like Chen, Storm, Earth, and Fired, and the Divine Shield was on all three of the.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that actually. I'm assuming probably not.
I would assume that like when you transfer, it just gets rid of it. But it is cool tech because that just means that Storm, Earth, and Fire can't be denied, which is also a self-cleanse of all of the stagger damage. That's another reason that we also see Chen's go into this at level 10. You stagger, you get a crap load of stagger damage. You build up a huge bar of damage over time from your stagger, pop Storm, Earth, and Fire, and when you're out of it, all the stagger's gone, you're back up to nearly full HP. The counter to this is stun out Chen in the, what is it? It's a 1 second windup, but it's very telegraphed, and it's kind of one of those things like Ancestral, like you expect it from Chen. He's gonna do A, and you expect B to happen right after.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of cool when you can hit a cleanse or a D-shield on him to make sure that he gets it, because that's like the biggest downside for Chen, that he can't always turn on the Storm, Earth, and Fire, because he's actually quite a good hero. We're doing pretty good this game as well. Second in hero damage, 16,000 behind Vala with 28,000. A lot of that, of course, is solo lane hate and rivalry, the derby between Hogger and Chen. But still. So now we have Diamond Hands going for the bottom Impaler camp. It's a 5-on-5. No, it's a 5-on-4 in bot lane. Hogger just took top.
Stormbolt onto Diablo, excuse me, as we just have Murden landing that Stormbolt. Chen to go into the top lane. 13 talent to your advantage will be coming through for the side of Diamond Hands as they want to chase it onto the polymorphed Ivy Tings, but it's not going to work out. That's going to be an arrow, Divine Shield onto Uther. That like just nearly came off of cooldown maybe 5-6 seconds ago, and he'll be able to back away. We do see the strafe from Vala to poke at the enemy. Hogger in this position, this could be terrifying if he gets chain CC'd, but Rutso and friends, oh wait, hold on, that's going to be a lot of damage. Will he go down? 50%.
CC was simultaneous. Stormbolt and Hammer of Justice hit at the same time. So it was 1.25 seconds stun instead of 2 seconds stun into a polymorph. Could have got the kill there, but Caesar Salad hit the raw bolt, didn't wait for the point and click guaranteed Hammer of Justice. It's okay, you know, it happens.
Do you want to listen to Diamond Hands as we're getting to this objective?
Yeah, I think that's a great time to do it. Let's hear from them.
In we go.
Welcome, brothers.
They know I blink too.
Yeah. If you guys come here from your angle, your exit's top right.
There's a double hit.
I'll catch one top wave.
I play from bot wave. No. Go here. Okay. Your exit's top right. Back up.
They're coming.
3 damage.
They're coming.
Yeah. I'm exiting. Good poly.
They're not racing it.
Okay. Can we posture towards here actually?
I want
I'm catching ball.
to mid bot wave, get
We're
hatred,
there,
and go.
split.
They're racing now.
Okay.
They see
Go
ball
now,
on
go
top.
now. Yeah.
I'm here.
No, the DPS are free racing.
That's fine. We're getting.
They have to.
Take the half,
Top
take the
gets
half,
keep
yeah.
at half.
Diablo's
Chill here.
We're not even losing the race. Like, this is
Yeah.
We're winning. It's
You're hard stalling. Good job. I literally like this posture.
With better man.
Mending up a little bit here.
We know they're all top left of us. This is the.
Top's going keep. They're not answering.
Here, I have no Stormbolt now.
Yeah, you're good. Get the arrow if we stack on.
Oh, me. I need help.
It's fine.
Reset and then I'll find this
okay.
after you get him up.
Yeah.
I'll just see
core.
too.
They have to go top too.
Man up now,
Get
man up
reset
now,
in.
man up
Yeah.
There's no shockwave, no arrow.
Find the
Someone
back.
Play more safe now. No
That's fine.
T-shield.
I'm looking here.
I don't have coins.
Seconds. Yeah, they use nano.
Look at Zergling. I'm in Zerg.
Get the nano.
We're trying.
Okay.
Back up.
I stun? Yeah.
Yeah. Yellow. The W's are
He
against
lives.
Back up. Yeah.
Get the stun coins.
Nice.
Top. This didn't go core, I guess. It's cool.
That's fine.
I'll get one ball wave here. Careful.
We have
Tapping
taps.
bottom.
I'll posture.
Yeah.
I love the way that the members of Diamond Hands are playing these engagements. The moment that there's, like, that someone calls that there's no kill potential, which Ivy should be going down here, but no, he's going to get the agility over the wall. That's going to be a lot of damage into Yeah Boy, who is able to get a face shift from Brightwing. Hogger is going to bounce around, but Mason Blaze maybe goes down. I'm not 100% sure. Yes, that Mason Blaze will go down. Hogger on the right side of our screen, very low, but Diablo is still pressuring onto the enemy team. It's just so cool to hear the way that the Diamond Hands crew is communicating, like, okay, we don't get Diablo, just back off. And instantaneously everyone backs off. It's not like, oh, maybe I'll auto attack 1 or 2 more times. No, really, really good communication and execution as well from what's being said from the shot calling and the leading of these players.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite moment too. Diablo lives, Diablo lives.
Yeah, yeah.
We feel the same way. So that was really clean. Very interesting that Wildheart in a 3v5, 4v5 still steps up. Harder was trying to stall and defend. So he does go down. Another kill for Diamond Hands. Wildheart tried to get some of that race value, but they just about lost it anyway. Diamond Hands with a really solid, significant lead. Level 1.7 levels lead. An Immortal with about 15% shield. It's definitely going to get the fort. The wall. I don't think it'll get a lot more than that. Li Ming and Hanzo are alive.
Want to point out that Belith in bottom lane is slapping for 1,548 damage into structures, 774 standard. We'll see how much he can get here. Surely it will be the keep or the fort going down. Did Chen just do something on? Did Nintori do that on purpose? Did he tank tower shots so that the Immortal wouldn't?
Yeah, you can do that.
That's kind of interesting,
PvP, retargeting, yeah, I do that sometimes with John Ironskin or something. I don't play a lot of Chen, but that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. The Immortal won't take damage. Chen's just going to get healed up between the double support, and Belith now gets the keep front gate. He's going to get 1, 2 auto attacks onto the keep. It's going to be, that's still a lot of damage onto the keep, maybe like 1/8 of its HP overall, but still the map looking better and better and better to the side of Diamond Hands, who have nearly a 2-level lead. Caesar Salad scouted out by the Sonic Arrow.
Against double support, if you've got a silence or some kind of isolation like Cocoon and Containment Disc or Void Prison, that can be super, super valuable. In this case, what are our CC tools? Shockwave, there's Sleep, there's the Hanzo Arrow. We haven't seen fantastic Hanzo Arrows yet. And if it hits anyone except Brightwing, she can cleanse it with D. It is tough for Wildheart running into this, trying to get some burst skill against the Brightwing Uther comp. Love the comp here, but Diamond Hands is showing and they're playing it really, really well. The Chen is a cool secret sauce. They're looking to just do a push with the Khazra here, trying to get the keep. Lightning Breath is gonna take care. Oh my god! I'm gonna check that death recap.
It's gotta be scatter value, man. That's got scatter with the level 16 Giant Slayer as well. Like that just had to have been it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you keep casting. I'm gonna check the death recap.
Oh, okay. I was like, he's got it by the time I'm done saying this sentence. No, okay. I was a little too fast right there, but still, another Immortal phase to spawn. Oh my god, Grubby, you're kidding.
3,505 damage in 0.9 seconds.
Ouch. Ouch.
Sheesh. Overkill was 73.
Muradin has a base health pool of 5,390, so that's more than 50%. Shockwave from the Hogger does come out. That's going to be the Storm Within Fire as well. Camp still being contested as we do have the Li Ming to go down. Divine Shield on Davala. She just continues to build those autos out. And 20 talent tier is getting closer and closer to Diamond Hands, which means Farflight Quiver for Vala.
Wow, he took actually 12 scatters.
That's all of it, isn't it?
That's all you can take, right?
I think that's the total scatter that you get from Hanzo. I'm just trying to see.
Oh my god! Yeah, but wait, how can you take 12 scatters? Because he doesn't have piercing. Oh wait, it double counts the Giant Slayer effect. Okay, so
okay.
Yeah, I think he just took all 6. Yeah, he must have just taken all 6.
Well, really well played from IB, but it still doesn't mean that the game is swapped over to Wildheart by any means. Now, if this Immortal is won by Diamond Hands, it will go into top lane. The more well-defended lane, as Keep in bottom has taken more damage. You can see that on the minimap. But Diamond Hands will play this a little slower. They've got the Fallen Shaman pushing up top. So for now, it's okay for Diamond Hands. There is an Impaler camp, but they're not too concerned about that. Heroic-wise, actually all Heroics for the side of Wildheart are up and available.
It's such a rush as Hanzo when you get the 3.5k damage. Hogger getting attacked here. Zergling got interrupted a couple of times, but there's the Smelling Salts, 50 armor. Shockwave gets a long distance hit on Rutso, but without real threat. Haven goes in on Muradin. Not exactly the prime target, but Wildheart has done a good job of zoning people away. Now they're getting a little bit of crucial raise damage in on the Immortal.
Top lane Fallen Shaman will go down since there was only the Shaman and it was targeted by the Keep. Divine Shield onto the Chen, no Storm Earth and Fire for 15 seconds. All that remains, heroic-wise for the side of Wildheart, is going to be that Lightning Breath. We do have Caesar Salad sitting in the bush right there. Zergling going to be just pushing him back, and the Immortal phase is looking okay to Wildheart as they continually poke onto this, but now Staggering Blow, Shadow Charge, Caesar Salad chunked right now, doesn't even get the Avatar out because, well, it's on cooldown actually. Mason Blaze able to back away, Lightning Breath will expire. A lot of damage on the Zergling who gets a Staggering Blow, and we have Nintori pressuring the backline with the Storm Earth and Fire, but that is going to be Nintori able to back away. Have Wildheart found their way back into this map number 4?
I think they have, Bahamut. I think they found their fire. They want to take it to map number 5. Ever since Hanzo has been level 16, it has been lethal. This time Murdin only took 1,000 damage in 1 second. Definitely not something unusual, but you do see those scatters chunking him, absolutely chunking him. Ever since 16, Wildheart has been fighting back, and they're not coming back from some kind of insurmountable lead. They still have their 2 keeps alive. Yeah. Yes, it had been trending against them, but they're looking better and better. I'm excited about this. We might go to game number 5 if they can keep this up.
It's looking like that's a very strong possibility with Alarian dealing 926 damage, 1,852 into structures. Let's see. 20 talent here, not here yet for either side, closer to the side of Diamond Hands, but a kill or 2 could shift that over for either team realistically. Mortal is hitting in melee range, dropping to around 50%. Big stun into the wall. There's going to be a nano boost onto somebody. Arrow from Hanzo, Divine Shield onto the Chen. No Storm Earth and Fire. He kicks around as well. We see some pings onto the Keep. I really think that Wildheart wants to take down this Keep, and they will confirm it and start to back away. Like the call from Wildheart. Good macro decision. 1 camp is available on the map looking at the top lane. Actually, the Impaler camp in top just now coming back, and it seems like Diamond Hands, well, they'll show in Minion Wave if they do try and chase in on this.
And that's enough to not be able to go there. This camp is taken in 2 seconds. Love the Hogger Diablo synergy that was just shown. Zergling hits them with the Loot Horde behind the double tank, which gives Diablo a 100% chance to get the Shadow Charge with the stun. Nonetheless, the tank survived. If it was critical miss that kept them alive from Heavy. Nice job there. Slightly quicker level 20 for Diamond Hands, but it's not very enough to really push with it.
No. You see Murden and Uther floating in the neutral zone or the Immortal phase area, but you already see Wildheart starting to back away. Well, Diamond Hands might try and push up, but I feel like they just push the wave into the Keep and then back off because 20 should be here for Wildheart by the time that's happening.
Yeah, maybe they could have tried to like bait Wildheart on the Bruiser camp. It's such a thin, narrow window. Now, Fancy Pants does have range to outrange the Keep.
Yeah.
This is a thing with full hatred.
Mm-hmm. It's like 8.25, 8.2 something for the Vala when she's at max hatred. So it's just, yeah. Oh, that's a great repulsion. Yeah, repulsion made me nervous. Yeah, boy does have the invisible friends, so Haven can't target with like a shadow charge, and Vala autoing does reveal, so that makes me a little nervous for her. But we look at 20s on the opposing side. We have the upgrade for Nano Boost, the No Control, the Repulsion, the Hellgate for the Diablo, and Bullseye for the Hanzo, as we do have Chen to go clear out the top lane wave. Don't want to lose any % on the core. Grubby, it's looking, I remember your prediction, 47% on one of the core. It's a possibility.
I forgot about the primary objective this game.
I didn't. I definitely didn't. That's why I wrote it down, because I knew I would immediately forget. Camp in the top lane is taking down shielding on the Diamond Hands core, who are working on a camp. Late game is looking tense here. Jen kicks in.
There's the spell armor. Jen gets massively attacked. He's staggered for 4,000 or 5,000 damage.
Arrow from Hanzo. Unstoppable from Chen as well. I think he actually took a sip of his brew. Purifying Brew, cast Fortifying Brew grants Chen unstoppable for 1.5 seconds. So that pairs really well into the level 13, enough to share. Now Diamond Hands in the defensive position. There's a Fallen Shaman going through bottom with a decent wave that could take things down. But look at Rutzo on the Uther. Rutzo taking a deep flank onto the enemy side. Can he actually make something happen with that? Yeah,
he wants Ana. He was spotted. He was spotted.
Murden also on another sort of flank on the left-hand side. Chen kicks in. That's a soothing mist. Vala! Wow, where'd you go, Vala?
And where's Uther? He was deep flanking. They knew it. They went for Vala at the right time. It was a huge Giant Slayer into Vala. Critical miss was not enough. Uther goes down as well. He's going to be able to come back with that unholy spirit. The Holy Spirit, in fact. Right wing trying to get away here.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
What? Okay.
Vala took 2,486 damage in 0.8 seconds. And to be clear, it was almost entirely Hanzo in, of course, 0.1 second. He did, let's see. Yeah, he did like 1,800 damage into Vala.
Arrow into bullseye. Yeah, good night, Chen. I do believe this is a map number 5.
Yeah,
top lane.
it's a
Hey,
map number 5.
Top lane keep does go down.
47%. Can the catapult do it? No. So congrats on the gifts up. But this is great. We're gonna get a game number 5. Wildheart, fantastic job coming back here. Hanzo 16 was absolutely key.
Yeah.
Who can argue about that?
IB is the MVP in this one. Without Hanzo, without that level 16, I feel like this would have been a game to Diamond Hands, but IB Ting's the MVP of this matchup right here, or this map right here, will be helping out the team grab a victory. And ladies and gentlemen, the series is not over just yet. We're heading to a map number 5 between Diamond Hands versus Wildheart Esports. GG, well played. This is what we like to see in the playoffs. No 3-0s, no quick matches, a long day of fantastic Heroes of Storm action, and it does continue with our next map. We'll find out what that's going to be in a little bit, but of course, let's go ahead and bring Justin back into the mix to talk about everything from Battlefield of Eternity.
So the curse is broken for Wildheart with their struggling to end in the late game. There was no hesitation that time. They got their advantages and they rolled with it off of the back of the Ivy Ting scatters, 2 in a row that just disintegrated the enemies in a millisecond. There's no reacting to that. Your D shields don't matter if you can't react. Your armor doesn't matter. None of that matters if you can't react to it with your double support. And level 16 was really the point where Wildheart needed to start winning. They have the debilitating flames at level 16 from Diablo, which no one on the side of Diamond Hands really can deal with well. That's one of the things that is the strongest into double support, is having that damage reduction. Vala has Manticore, and that's all she has for percent damage. So there's basically the entire team's damage is more than cut in half because of that level 16 from Haben on the Diablo. And then the level 16 from Hanzo. IB Ting's playing it with the Giant Slayer. Absolutely ridiculous damage. Those 2 picks from those scatters is really what Wildheart used to win the game there. It was absolutely crucial to their success, was being able to get those 2 picks post 16. It's can't be overstated how valuable that was. And also Mason Blaze on the Li Ming having the mirror ball at 16, that's really when Wildheart turned things on, and they needed to. The early game, it was surprising to see Wildheart doing so well very early on, because what it really should be Wildheart losing until 16, and then Diamond Hands starting to struggle a bit post 16. And in the early game, it felt like that was what was going to happen, with Yaboy getting lots of stacks here in the early game, Wildheart kind of playing into what the double support wants. Like in this fight where you have a 5v5 bottom, Yaboy's just chipping away with those auto attacks, getting so many stacks on the Creed of the Hunter. He had over 100 stacks, or just under 100 stacks at level 10, so stacking very, very well on the Vala. But none of that matters in the late game if your HP gets deleted in 0.1 seconds. You could tell just the pressure was actually starting to get to Diamond Hands for what feels like the first time in this series, and Wildheart finally being able to convert late game momentum into actual structures, into actual just keeping their momentum going. This was the moment that kind of let Wildheart back into the game here. Watch the HP on Caesar Salad. It's about to go away completely. There it is. It's gone. And it's gone. So there's no more Murd in there. That was the moment that gave Wildheart a way back into the game. And here's the next one. You have the crush into the wall into immediate one-shot of the Vala. We had Rutso getting desperate here at the late game, feeling that they don't win the front-to-back fights anymore, trying to look for that flank onto the Ana played by Weary Day. Weary Day too safe, and in that time, Haben getting the opportunity to get engage onto the Vala, removing the hyper carry. And with the hyper carry removed, there's no damage left in your double support composition. It was cool to see that there was a weird dynamic here where you had a kind of iconic poke comp versus an iconic double support between the Li Ming Hanzo, the best poke possible on BOE, versus the best double support possible in Vala Uther. And one side should kind of have an easier time winning fights, but the other side has an easier time just poking at the objective and avoiding fights. So it was kind of like a weird dynamic. Both teams had their win conditions, but in the end, Wildheart hitting their power spikes and actually closing it out in the late game, it makes me excited, and we'll see if they're able to keep their composure going into Game 5.
Yeah, we're going to get ready for Game 5 here in just a second. Thank you, Justin, for the analysis, as always, because we are going to take a short little break before we get into this Game 5. Now, before we take this break, as always, I want to remind you all about the prize pool. We are $125 away from hitting $15,000. So if you'd like to push the prize pool further, which is 100% going to be going to the players, and also Wisdom adding in $10K at the end of the season, is, hey, we hit $15,000. Thank you, everyone. Now, if you want to hit $16,000, if you would like to push the prize pool even further, we really do appreciate the support from the community. Exclamation point prize pool will get you over to the match arena. But thank you seriously, everyone, for pushing that prize pool further and further. We're at $15,000. Wisdom will be adding in that extra $10K at the end of the season. So right now, the total prize pool is $25,000, with first place taking 35% of that total. Thank you, as always, for everyone supporting HeroesCCL, but we're not done just yet. We got one more map. The loser goes home in 4th place. The winner goes up against Oxygen Esports tomorrow morning. Don't go anywhere. This is HeroesCCL, presented by Wisdom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching at the Wisdom Gaming Studios in Mall of America. We are here in our 5th final map in this best of 5 series between Wildheart Esports versus Diamond Hands. My name's Bahamut, joined by the amazing, the beautiful Grubby, and the illustrious, fantastic... I wanted to think of another adjective, but you know what? I'm just going to say Justin. Thank you. Thank you all for joining Justin, Grubby, and I for this amazing day of HeroesCCL action. And this is a critical matchup for both of these teams. The winner goes up against Oxygen tomorrow in the lower bracket finals. The loser will be going home in 4th place, and that's the end of their Season 4 of HeroesCCL. A lot's on the line for this next matchup, so I immediately want to just jump in and find out where we're going to for map number 5, and we can talk about a couple other things in between, because it is going to be Wildheart Esports taking us to Tomb of the Spider Queen. So Justin, the most important question to ask you is, are you ready for a Gall?
Yes, I'm ready for Cho and Gall to both be locked in on the side of Wildheart. I'm going to be disappointed with anything less, but I don't know if the teams are brave enough to pick Cho'Gall, as Cho'Gall is a very difficult hero that requires lots of coordination with your Cho friend and your Gall friend, so we'll see whether they've got what it takes to pull it out in Game 5.
I do remember in a previous season of CCL, specifically Season 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen against Sidestep Kings, Wildheart Esports did pull out the Cho'Gall and took a victory in an amazing boss pit. I'm hoping to see something similar, but we'll have to find out what's going to happen here. Grubby, what is your level of excitement for this 5th and final map between these two teams here on HeroesCCL?
As always, 6.5 out of 10. The only right answer.
That's it?
That's the best you can get.
Oh.
IGN.
Oh, I guess so, yeah. They've never rated a game above 6.5 out of 10, I guess. So they should just really change their scale to 0 out of 6.5. Don't you think?
Just remember, they said because there's no comebacks possible.
Yeah. No comeback mechanics in Here's the Storm. You know, none on the Battlefield of Eternity map we just saw. No comeback mechanics whatsoever. No insane scatter arrows from level 16. But let's go ahead, Justin, Grubby, and everyone at home jump into Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's see what's going to be happening here for our map. I'm so excited about this one, Justin. I was dancing in the break. I'm ready to go. I got my energy up. Are you ready for this? What are you expecting? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping to see Wildheart be able to kind of shake off those late game nerves that I've been talking about, because in the last game they impressed me. I thought that they were going to choke under the pressure in the late game. That didn't happen this time, and it's felt like that's been something that's been happening a lot. So now Game 5 can't get any more pressure than this into the late game. I'm counting on Wildheart to be able to pull it out in the end, but it's so back and forth, and after seeing our match earlier with 30K and Oxygen, I'm kind of one of these teams is going to be kind of my underdog hope going into the finals against 30K, because 30K looked so strong against Oxygen, and well, it wasn't a stomp by any means, but I really think that to take down the Titan that is 30K at this point, you need something a little bit more weird, and I feel like these two teams are both the dark horses that would be capable of doing that, if any team is.
I'll be honest, you know, as casters, we do our best to stay neutral in these things, but storyline-wise, there's a bit of me that wants Wildheart to win this. I got nothing against Diamond Hands, I got nothing against Wildheart. I kind of want this Grubby for Madara. Like I want Wildheart to win so that Wildheart can go up against Oxygen tomorrow, potentially beat Oxygen, and then Madara gets that matchup that he was talking about in the interview earlier. So we'll have to see, but this is really cool. First pick Diamond Hands Sylvanas, as IBTings has been taking a lot of first pick Sylvanas, Grubby.
What about the story of the ladder team, Diamond Hands, going all the way?
That is true. That is a good point. Yeah, Diamond Hands did come from the playoff ladder bracket. They did beat out Chili Mountain to solidify and earn this 4th spot. So that is a good point as well, Grubby. I did kind of overlook that. So both teams have amazing storylines. Yeah. We could write a book about these things, sort of thing, or maybe chapters. But Justin, I want to get your thoughts on the draft unfolding. No tank yet for Diamond Hands.
Yeah, Diamond Hands forgoing that. There is the Johanna band away. They could be looking for something like a Stitches later on in the draft, so they don't feel so pressured to take one early on. And even just getting a Stitches band could be something that's okay for the side of Diamond Hands. But what Wildheart has right now is just very standard, very meta, very strong. One thing that's a little bit weird is we have seen some 4-man and some Malthael from Nintori, so it's possible to see that later. They do have the Blaze to counter it with the bunker if that's the case. But right now, just a lot of HP on the side of Wildheart. Very safe comp right now. Haben getting something he's comfortable with the Diablo. Zergling very comfortable with the Blaze. And it's weird to see Diamond Hands prioritize that Urel when the Hogger's available. That's not kind of the standard meta thing. Everyone seems to be kind of just falling into comfort. Diamond Hands has the option to go pretty much anything as their flex. With Rutso picking the Sylvanas, it could be either player picking it. And the drafts are still just very wide open. I'm waiting to see if any team has any very special pocket picks for their potential final match of the CCL in this whole season.
I wonder if Diamond Hands is looking at a double support as they're going to ban out the Mephisto. I mean, Mephisto's just good in general, but we've always talked about Mephisto being a great way to deal with double supports, so this could be something that we're going to be seeing from them. The Hanzo comes out once again. The Malfurion, I think, is fantastic. A nice flex pick for the side of Wildheart Esports, as we have 2 more coming out from Diamond Hands. Got to get your thoughts here as well, Grubby.
It looked really good for Stykes Stitches. Stykes Stitches here for Diamond Hands against Malf and Diablo. That seems like a good draft, but they were dead set on going for this. It's a triple front line. It's Maiev again. It's Tyrael. Definitely a low CC comp from Maiev in a way, like low easy stuns, but overall quite a strong comp. Some nice heroes.
All right, we'll get one last pick coming out from the side of Wildheart Esports. Could be their final pick of the season. That could have been the Diamond Hands' final pick of the season. Lunara to come through. I really like the Wildheart draft here, Adjusting. I honestly think they can do it with this.
Yeah, it's very standard, and it plays well to their strengths of having just the really strong backline duo between IBTings and Mason Blaze. I was sort of expecting the Tracer to come out here, but I think they were leaving it open, leaving it flexible to have the choice to take the Tracer. Decided against it after seeing what the final 2 picks were for the side of Diamond Hands. Maiev can just do a backflip and kind of ignore the Tracer's Pulse Bomb. Tyrael also just always has the shields and out-trades the Tracer if it is the damage Tyrael that we've been coming to see so much of. So that makes sense to avoid it. But Wildheart, the one kind of big discrepancy in the draft, I think all things considered, everyone kind of has just good solid picks all around. The one pick that's not really meta is the Malfurion. The only layer of protection they have to prevent a one-shot is the Blaze Bunker, so Zergling is going to have to play extremely well to be able to be in a position to peel for his team with that bunker. I'm watching Zergling and seeing if Weary Day is going to get punished at all, but this game easily could go both ways. It's sustained damage and just ranged slow damage from Wildheart versus the hard engage, fast fighting style of Diamond Hands, so you can pull it out in Game 5.
Let's see what's going to happen here. One team's going home, one team's going on to the lower bracket finals tomorrow morning. Wildheart in the blue. IBTings on the Hanzo, Zergling on the Blaze. Weary Day to play the Malfurion, Haben on the Diablo, and Mason Blaze on the Lunara. Over on the side of Diamond Hands, we have Heavy on the Brightwing, yeah boy, on the Sylvanas, Nintori on the Urel, Caesar Salad on the Tyrael, and Rutso to play the Maiev. I've already said that I think Wildheart can take this, Grubby. What are you thinking here for Tomb of the Spider Queen as we have our first engagement onto Zergling getting pulled around, but he gets the Jet Propulsion out of there?
I always love Tyrael that doesn't main tank a whole lot more than one that main tanks. And although Maiev can kind of main tank, it's also not necessarily her go-to. This puts both of them in a slightly more, well, let's say, pressured spot. If you had a Muradin and a Maiev and a Tyrael, I'm like, wow, I love it. But now with these three, none of them having like a really reliable pickoff method, without a really reliable pickoff wave against Diablo, and then there's all the other stuff. Yeah, I think Diamond Hands shot themselves in the foot. I think they overthought it. Wow, nice cleanse from Heavy. Sick. Yeah. And I think Wildheart has a much better draft, much better. So we'll see if that's true. I definitely could be wrong. Maybe I don't fully understand the Diamond Hands draft. Of course, they are a top 4 team, so if they're doing this, I didn't think it's good.
And I think that's a very good point to make as well. Like, even though we may not see exactly what Diamond Hands has put together here, they definitely have a game plan in mind, and we'll see how it unfolds draft-wise as the Tomb of the Spider Queen rotations have begun. We're just going to be seeing gems picked up left and right, or I guess up and down as we have our constant rotations between these lanes. Siege Giant's first to the side of Diamond Hands, and Sylvanas starts to use her black arrows, locking down the 2 towers. She uses the Haunting Wave to stop one of the upper towers from firing. Diablo with the push around. Haben is going to be knocked back by the Urel Righteous Hammer. Siege Giant still finding value here, attacking from a decent range, take down 1 tower and a gate.
Tried to get the QE on Sylph, but he was out of range of Sylph for the E because Sylvanas got the bonus movement speed from Tyrael, so he was able to walk away. Nice little damage. I'm looking at the XP. Is this just minion XP not picked up yet? Somewhat, yeah. Mostly just minions that haven't been picked up yet. Because you're thinking like, wow, how did they get such a big lead?
Yeah.
Wildheart.
Still, yeah, it's like 1,000 difference in minion experience between the 2 teams, but I think it's just waves need to be picked up. As we are still equal, you can actually see at the top of our screen now with this wave clear coming through. Rutso with a fan of knives out, just looking to see what they're going to be going for. Pretty standard build so far. Blade Dance at level 4. The assumption is the Loon's Wrath at level 7 as well.
I get that fan of knives build. I believe usually it's not Blade Dance. So usually
it's pinned down.
It's usually the other fan of knives, right?
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of pinned down lately. I believe at level 4. Jet Propulsion from Blaze. That's first blood onto the Sylvanas from Wildheart Esports.
Nice kill by Wildheart. Good jet propulsion. Nitori jumps in 1v5. He thinks he's gonna be just fine. Weary Day has something to say about that.
No way, I can't believe Nintori got out of that alive. That was a real nice disengage from Nintori. So we just continue to see what's going to be unfolding here as no team has available turn-in. 7 gems, if I'm not mistaken, are necessary for Wildheart to turn in. And on the opposing side, Diamond Hands, they need, 11 gems to be picked up and turned in? Well, it's changing as they're picking up stuff in the waves, but still, Wildheart ahead in that factor.
Yeah, Wildheart doing kind of nice. If they can get the first turn in, that could be pretty big. Ratso trying to get some kills here. Let's see, what do they get at level 10? Containment Disc. Use on who? Maybe Blaze or Diablo?
Could be Malfurion too. Just stop all the healing and chase in. Maybe even Hanzo. Allows you to step.
Do you Judgment Malfurion here? Nintori dropping real low. Lunara putting on the real pain train. He gets away.
Fire Stomps from Diablo does have that Fire Stomp build, so it'll build up souls from those W's on enemy heroes. And both teams have available turn-in, but who will get it first? Only 3 gems need to be turned in, I believe. That is Lunara. Mason Blaze gets it right there. First Webweaver phase to the side of Wildheart Esports. How much or what can they get from this? What gains will we have?
You could go Judgment, you could do Sanctification. Definitely there's enough threat against them to make Sanct happen, but there's also a lot of CC to counter it. Judgment on Mouth could be a play. You can dive it with Urel and Maiev. I think that's actually probably the way to play it. Judgment, it's a bit more reliable, easier to proc. And then you try to Containment Disc Blaze so that you can't save everybody.
That's a good point too, yeah. You'll have the Containment Disc and the Silence afterwards to just lock someone down, or at least stop anyone from dropping that bunker down like Blaze. Webweaver phase, I'm just looking around the map right now, finding gates, finding some damage onto forts. Lunara actually free pushing top lane. Might actually get the fort down in this top lane. She will back away. Gonna stick around actually, because the rest of Wildheart's rotating up.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage for a first Webweaver phase. That's pretty ridiculous. 40% on mid fort, 70% on top fort. Diamond Hands. Look how they can do like nothing against Diablo. Nothing. They just pulled him in, and he took negative damage.
I kind of wish that Maiev went into the Spirit of Vengeance with the Sudden Vengeance as well for the percent-based damage. I think that could have been huge to help out with the burst ability.
Even if he did, right? There's like one blink.
True.
It does 6%, and Diablo's still gonna laugh it off.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just when it comes to damage right now. Oh no, Tyrael. That's 20-some gems dropped on the ground. Still enough. They still have enough for a turn-in, but the economy getting. Oh, that's rough.
20 gems.
That's rough for the economy of Diamond Hands. Period.
Yeah. Nintori was in the bottom lane. He did push out a wave. XP-wise, it's not like in a terrible position for Diamond Hands. I'm still super curious to see what we're gonna have. This could be a Hanzo kill. Hanzo?
Umbro bind, polymorph, nice. But here comes Diablo finishing out his souls. He also has the. Actually, no. He got the level 10 upgrade. That's what it was. He's already been done with souls, so he only consumes 75 out of the 100. When it comes to heroics, no Apocalypse. We also will have the mind control over the Wailing Arrow, and I'm waiting to see what Maiev goes. It's the Containment Disc, no Warden's Cage. So I do like the Containment Disc. A very short cooldown onto that one, 40 seconds, as well as the 4-second, or the 1.5-second silence afterwards. Arrow from downtown! That's full duration. That's going to be Lightning Breath. Sanctification, no Judgment.
Yeah. I mean, that Sanct was great. He was off to the side, didn't eat the arrow. We're gonna have Yrel turn in 41 gems.
Nice.
Hanzo could not interrupt it in time. There is a bruiser camp here. It's gotta be defended. And will these buy enough time for Wildheart to get the turn in? They're just 4 gems away from it.
And they'll get those gems, actually. If Diablo steps up in this mid-wave, he'll actually be able to pick up most of them, but I think actually all of them will expire before anyone steps in for said gems. We do have Tyrael being zoned back by Zergling at the bottom of our screen, and this mid lane camp gets a couple autos, a little bit of damage. Mind Control goes wide onto Zergling, who's able to jet propulsion away. I think Notori kind of helping out with the Righteous Hammer.
There's a siege camp here on fort. It's doing some good damage. Nintori and Boy could have tried to go for it and kind of threaten and harass Blaze, but they decided not to. We're going to have a 20 gem turn in, 26 now. Blaze will try to bring up the rear and get the final turn in. Nintori is going to let it go. They're going to absorb. They're choosing to absorb this Web Weaver phase with the Bruiser camp. And I even feel like they shouldn't have killed the minions in front of the Bruiser camp, so that it stays in the center rather than going on the towers now.
I see what you mean, yeah. I wonder if Wildheart's just like, we can clear it fast enough before Web Weavers descend, but the Web Weavers are already getting into lane, and this is going to be the Web Weaver in mid, a little further back. Top lane around 50%, and bottom lane near the fort front gate as Blaze is trying to push back that wave against Yrel, who is bopping him around as well. But let's take a look at the top lane engagement. Huge arrow from Hanzo from the mid lane coming in as well. Where's the follow-up? There's a root onto the Tyrael. He does have Sanctification, but he gets the Eldruin's Might out of there.
Yrel defending bottom. That's not going to take down the fort. Mid fort is basically forfeit, and top is being defended as the boss lane looks like Diamond Hands defended a lower health top fort over the middle one. It's also kind of positioning that they were at. They tried to go for Lunara, and then it was a disengage from Haben Diablo's side strike.
I was waiting to see if Wildheart was going to step back in for the top lane fort while the mid was being cleared out, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. There is a Sentinel Wisp in the bush scouting out quite a bit here. Diablo goes in onto the Tyrael, phase shift from the Brightwing. Sanctification is available, and there's a Containment Disc onto Diablo. 7 seconds on the clutch opening up for a turn-in. Speaking of turn-ins, Diamond Hands, they could potentially get back-to-back turn-ins with the available gems in their pockets.
Who's going to go for it? Will Ratso step away and go bot and pay? No, they're trying to get a fight. Arrow is almost back up again.
5 on the arrow. Umbro Bind on Diablo. He tries to Shadow Charge, but the Umbro Bind pulls him around. Little bounce around from that one. And Caesar Salad taking a bit of a nap from the Emerald Dreams of Malfurion's level 1. Zergling going to get a couple gems turned in here. And that is Nintori with enough for the Red Web Weaver. Nintori not here in time. What do the members of Diamond Hands get with this Web Weaver turn-in?
And Nintori manages to get the turn in. Zergling couldn't reach him. It was really close. And the first Web Weaver... Wait, is this the first Web Weaver to Diamond Hands?
Yes.
Yeah. First Web Weaver. And they have enough to pay again if they keep their gems in hand. They really recovered from the bad early game.
I would agree.
1 fort down, 1 almost down, but almost equal XP. And they're getting to the point where Maiev gets level 16, which gains percentage damage on Fan of Knives. That's going to help a lot.
And I'm just waiting to see what value Diamond Hands gets from this. I think Yrel gets the fort bottom lane. There's no one defending against that one. So bottom lane fort, that's gone. Lunara's clearing out top lane. Mid lane will lose the fort front gate, and I don't think much, if any, damage onto the actual structure. So actually, the gate, the one tower at the gate's still alive, albeit around a couple hundred HP. Umbro bind onto Diablo. Polymorph as well. He's got full souls. He's got those fire stomps. There's a jet propulsion from Blaze. Yrel jumps in as well. There's the holy ground from Tyr. You see that on the left side of our screen, and Yrel backs away with the Righteous Hammer channeled from her level 7, giving that movement speed.
A little bit of a push on the top lane as they know Blaze is still clearing bot. That's an engage on Hanzo. Is he gonna die? Holy Ground didn't connect to lock him in, and there was a great route from Malfurion. Emerald dreaming everyone. Double leaping strike. Mason Blaze goes in. Gets some good damage on Nintori. Can Nintori make it away? He does have Absorbent Defender. He has to use it. He was 172 health and was poisoned. The worst situation to want to be using Absorbent Defender, but he had no choice.
So the turn-in is here. 74 gems in the pockets of Diamond Hands. 45 for the side of Wildheart, who already have 9 turned in. And Caster Math does not serve me right, so they need, like, what, 11-ish or so? Probably less than that, as I just threw a number out there realistically. They need 2? They need 2?
No, I'm just. I'm joking.
I was like, oh, I just threw out 11, and I was like, that's not right. And I was like, really? It's only 2? Okay. Anyways, 16 talent here, almost here for Wildheart first. They're very close to the turn-in though.
Now they need 2.
Yes, I knew it. Totally. Blaze.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Mind control. All right. 40-second
There's
cooldown.
Holy Ground. So Caesar Salad actually spec'd for the boss control and not for the pokey poke, which bruisers generally do. Whereas Sword of Justice, you can blink back in again. Makes sense. This game could come down to a boss fight.
Really could come down to a boss pit, though it is going to be a turn-in for the side of Wildheart. They only need 16 turned in, and who's got it? Oh, it's Blaze. It's Blaze who had to actually turn it in. He had 24 gems, but that's a lot of damage. Sanctification, Vault of the Wardens. Arrow from Hanzo onto Yrel just as the Sanctification expires. 28 seconds on the Ardent Defender. Caesar Salad forward in this, but let's go ahead and see what Diamond Hands can do as the Mind Control on Haben does connect.
Oh, yeah, I think Yrel's dead. Yeah. That was a big mistake, but absolutely insane routes from Weary Day.
Yeah, seriously.
Jumping in when he didn't have Absorbent Defender yet, against the wall, when Ibitings is waiting for his mark, was not a good play for Nintori, but Weary Day's roots have been cracked. Like, they're stopping this heavy melee comp
right here.
Big time. Yeah.
Oh, Diablo was angling for the Shadow Charge on the Retso, but the Polymorph, the Containment Disc slow any of that down. We will see Blaze, actually, he's focusing on just the wave behind the Webweaver since the minions are dealing decent damage. But we already have a scuffle in the top lane as that Webweaver is approaching below 50% HP. Hanzo trying to poke out with some scatters as well. An okay-ish Webweaver phase, but it finds...
Was it, though? They got nothing, actually. It was terrible. Like, this Webweaver phase was pushed up all the way top.
You're right.
And mid got nothing, top got nothing. It was just a waste of gems. All because they forced the fight. It can go really well, right? It's high risk, high reward.
Multiple fire stomps from Diablo. He pops the Lightning Breath, phase shift, or excuse me, cleanse from the Brightwing. We did have a Haunting Wave from Sylvanas as well. I did hear that go out. Sanctification back off cooldown. And now, with only 16 necessary, that will be Blaze getting the turn in. No boss play. Let's see, what does this Webweaver phase do? They could threaten keep. Yeah, they're going to threaten keep in top.
Well, the risk is, if Yrel shows bot, and he hasn't yet, but he is going to now, then they can backstab through the tunnel. So Caesar Salad has to look at that tunnel.
Uh-oh.
Diablo gets a Shadow Charge.
That's the nice arrow from Hanzo to connect. Yeah, boy, getting chunked quite a bit. Blaze with a Twin Flame, and this is the Webweaver through mid, descending right in front of the keep front gate. Fire Stomps up from Diablo. He's already at full souls, so these Fire Stomps are also going to get some nice siege for him. And looking for a potential angle here for a Shadow Charge into the keep, but doesn't find any angle.
I think if they had gone top, Wildheart, Yrel would clear bot. But with them being mid, it gives them too good of an angle on him, bot. So he rotated to take top down instead.
Big jet repulsion from Blaze. There's a containment disc onto Diablo. Holy ground underneath him as well. Bottom lane fort will fall. Mid lane keep to go down. Top lane Webweaver already cleared out. And so the bottom lane Web Weaver sitting around, let's say a third of its HP. Zergling drops the bunker, gets away. There's an Ardent Defender on Urel. Diablo getting pulled around, pushed around, and he's able to fire stomp and back right out of there. This Diablo looking nigh unkillable. I'm sure Justin's got a few thoughts on this Diablo build and play.
I mean, it's the fire stomp build. It gets the most heals. It gets the most heals and spell shield resets against melee comps. Diablo is unkillable against a team like this. The only thing you can do is containment this game and jump the rest. But without judgment, there's no real good engage. Diamond Hands is just hoping for good plays to be possible, kind of randomly-ish.
The wraparound play for this boss is insane. I was watching the Diamond Hands vision. They didn't even see that the boss was leashed and Wildheart was looping back around. Caesar Salad trying to back away. Nintori is the object of desire for the members of Wildheart as they get the kill. Is this the March to Core? Another kill. Another kill would be huge here. Do they go mid
This
net?
has got to be it. I don't think you go mid because the two main DPS are still alive. I think you get boss. You get the top keep.
They just need 3 gems, by the way.
If you get a pick, you go core, and if you don't, you finish the bottom keep with web weavers. And from that moment onwards, it's very, very hard to lose.
3 gems are necessary. That's a wave. The waves are pushed back a little bit. I was kind of hoping Blaze would go and grab some gems, some extra gems, but he actually is going to be left on the boss. Now he's going to try his best to delay this out so that the allies can get the turn in. But as I mentioned, there's still 3 gems shy. They're going to need to find those somewhere, and it's going to be mid lane, actually. Maiev was clearing things out, so that does help out. This feels... You know what? You want to jump into Wildheart comms?
Yeah.
In we go.
They're all 5 up. They might look it up. Okay. Finish clearing mid. We see. We go top. Now, yeah, we can go. I have arrow. I'm looking arrow now. No.
I bunker free
He's stunned. Nice. Get in bunker.
Oh, so much armor in this bunker. Alright, I have stun on next follow-up. They're about to hit 20s.
I'm fine.
Look at Nintori.
Yeah, Sylph. 40. I can stun Sylph after. Maybe.
Hit this. Finish strike core.
Hit buildings, yeah.
I have a slow in 1. I'm tanking.
Don't tank it.
I'm a man though, I want to tank it.
Stun the Sylph now. Stun Sylph. Nice.
Oh,
Finish.
what a sonic arrow. Let's go.
Okay. Just core. Just ignore them. Play. Bot side.
GG. Oh, GG's.
Oh my god.
And with that final blow, Wildheart secures their place in top 3 of HeroesCCL playoffs. That will be Diamond Hands taking 4th place, and that'll be the end of their season. GG over the side of Wildheart. I wanted to jump in those comms at the last second because I was like, if Wildheart wins it right here, we gotta hear, the battle cries, and you could actually hear it a little bit as they were, well, you could hear the Wildheart battle cries. We all know what it sounds like, some turkeys or something weird like that, some sort of animal. You know what, Justin, you used to play on Wildheart. What animal is it?
Yeah, it's a turkey. It's a.
Oh, okay, nice.
It's just a turkey, and you get a whole gaggle of turkeys when they really start winning. But that was just a lone Zerg letting out the battle cry, and that's when you know that the game is over. When we go into the Wildheart comms, there, I'm happy to see Wildheart be able to close it out. It seemed like an angry Wildheart. This seemed like a very aggressive Wildheart, not kind of the restraint that we'd seen previously. There were opportunities for them on Dragonshire specifically where I think they could have been a little bit more aggro, and it seems like Wildheart in game 5 versus Wildheart in the earlier games, completely different. Feels like now they were kind of out for blood. They had all these decisions where there were times where they can take the defensive route or the aggressive route, and in this moment, as the series progressed, they were going for the aggressive plays. They weren't going for the defensive choices. Love to see that. Love to see the team not crack under the pressure, not get nervous. And Madara is going to get his wish of facing Wildheart after all, potentially. It won't be guaranteed, but if they're able to take down Oxygen tomorrow, then they'll be facing him, and Madara will get his wish. But there's at least a chance for it now. Haben on the Diablo looked very, very good, especially. Weary Day on the Malfurion is going to be my MVP for the game, though. He looked just nuts on the Malfurion. I was worried that he might be a little bit out of place there with the Malf, something that we don't see too much, a fairly off-meta pick unless it's paired with the Tracer. But he made it work. He had a lot of just good aggressive roots. Even even setting up for his tank on the mouth, almost as if it's like a Ana, where in that dynamic, typically the support is always the one following up, but with the sleep on the level 1, the Malfruit can actually be the first CC that sets up for your tank, and Weirday was putting that to great use. So Weirday absolutely popping off this game. Ivy Tings had some huge arrows. The Tyrael pick, I have to be a bit critical of, or Caesar Salad. I don't really see the use it got. I was expecting to see the damage Tyrael that we've seen quite a bit of, but the Tyrael pick just not quite enough for them. Not the damage that they needed, and Haben seemed nigh invincible on the Diablo. But Wildheart able to pull it out. The level 20 decision making, weird. They just force the boss. They bait the boss. It's just super aggression. And I think that's what they need if they want to be able to make it through the rest of the bracket, as they're playing with the scariest teams in the league now. We'll see if they can if they can make the upsets here from the lower bracket.
I gotta say, this was so much fun. I really, really like this series, and I'm excited to go back and watch this one back in in a week or two. But it is going to be Wildheart taking map number 5, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and I think, Justin, you put it very well. This was a angry Wildheart. I mean, I was looking at the stats at the end, like it was like 60,000 highest heroic damage on the side of Diamond Hands, and then like 100k for Hanzo. So definitely IB on this Hanzo pulled out in the last 2 games, really critical plays. But let's go ahead and jump into an interview. We've got Zergling, I believe, on the line to talk about this series. Zergling, congratulations on your victory. How you feeling?
Pretty good. I'm pretty hungry. It's a long day.
I'm hungry too. What are you gonna get for dinner?
I'm going out to get some Philly cheesesteaks.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. That sounds very, very good. Of course, that was my only and most important question. Let me throw it over to Justin for a question to you as well.
Yeah, I guess just what happened for you guys in the last 2 games there? What was the difference between the last 2 games and maybe the beginning of the series here against Diamond Hands?
I think both days were kind of slow to warm up. I mean, I think a lot of teams don't have like good warm-ups because everyone's like has to play each other, so we had to pull up some other people. So we have some Wildheart family come on over. So the intensity is not really there, and it's on us to find that intensity to come to the game ready to swing. And I'm pretty sure everyone was still drinking coffee in the first game. We're like, guys, we lost again. Let's not do the whole reverse sweep thingy again. And we're like, okay, we'll win one. And then we're like, now we'll lose one. No, we'll win one. And like, okay, let's try to win this one. So I think collectively as a team, we just needed to wake up, because it kind of sucked yesterday losing that last game against Oxygen yesterday.
Grubby, any questions for Zergling?
Zergling, what are y'all's routine on the day before a match like this? Well, you were playing, but like on the day of a match like this, let's say before a match, do you like eat more, eat less? Do you guys get together, play some ARAM? How do you get into the mindset of the tournament day?
So we got a lot of gamers on my team, so they're all waking up like a minute before the game warm up. For me, myself, I wake up, coffee, get going for the day. We try to come in ready for the first thing, first like warm up or whatever we're doing. We don't want to try to get ourselves burnt out too much. But pretty typical stuff. Everyone's usually waking up right in time for the games if you're on the West Coast, or if you're on the East Coast, usually people are hopefully waking up a little bit earlier to get kind of awake.
Well, I do want to ask you, so tomorrow you're going to go up against Oxygen Esports. Thoughts, concerns, excitement? Do you think you can take that series?
I hope so. I was listening a little bit on Grubby's commentary, and he said I was feeding a little too much yesterday. So I'm going to not do that. And I'm going to make sure that I don't feed as much, and we should win. So going into the game, I think everyone's ready to go, get that revenge on them. I felt like the first 2 games was like us waking up, feeding a little too much. And as the games got on, we kind of got a little too loosey-goosey, and it led to our loss. So I'm hoping tomorrow we can take this win, have that momentum going into the next series, and we start out strong, and then we can hopefully be up against 30k, so that'd be someone new to play. So
I mean, Madara said it in the interview earlier today that he wants actually to go up against you guys, because he's like, we haven't played them yet. We want to go up against them. We want to play everyone in the playoffs. So best of luck to you tomorrow and in your preparation. But of course, before you get out of here and skedaddle and enjoy your victory tonight, any shouts that you'd like to give, the floor is all yours.
Shout out for the Wildheart family for warming us up. Shout out to Goon for being an amazing org owner and always working with us and playing games with us. Shout out to my team for showing up. I know it was struggling. You know, it can be tilting at times, losing here and there, but we kind of pulled it together at the end. Hopefully carry that forward. Shout out to my girlfriend for always supporting me. Shout out for you guys for providing an amazing cast. Shout out to Justin for his play of the day. I know my TLV is very clean, never dies, very nice. And that's pretty much it. Shout out Twitch chat. That's it.
Thank you for joining us, Zergling. Good luck in your preparation. We'll see you tomorrow morning for me, afternoon for those on the East Coast and in CET. Enjoy your rest, and we'll see you tomorrow morning up against Oxygen Esports.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, so, well, that is going to be our 2 best of 5s today. Unfortunately for Diamond Hands, that is the end of their HeroesCCL Season 4 run. They'll take 4th place. 4th place isn't too bad, though. Pretty good payout for the prize pool and everything. As I mentioned, Wisdom's going to be adding in another 10K at the end of the season. So right now the prize pool is roughly 25,000 and a little extra on the end right there. But of course, we're not done talking about HeroesCCL yet. Oh, no, because Zergling alluded to what we're going to do next. It is going to be Justing's amazing clip that Grubby loves so very much, play of the day.
Yep, and let's get into it. Don't take your word for it. Let's take my word for it. So we're getting right into it. We've got Cure on the flank here, looking to get into the fight. The objective is the first objective fight that Oxygen is looking to fight. They're down 13s. So just already on paper, Oxygen really has no business being here, but the fight is looking close at the start. You have the immediate Wailing Arrow onto Cure. He gets down to nearly 1 HP, links away, gets the Ancestral, hops into the bunker. Now the re-engage comes through. Madara with that W, with the Lightning. He gets a full reset, is already right back into the backline again, comboed with the Jet Propulsion from Liam, and that's how you wipe out an entire team in just seconds. The turnaround was absolutely instant by 30k.
Just get Cure to play Zeratul on your team, right, Grubby?
And Madara and Mephisto.
That too as well. I mean, though,
I think if I'm the Zeratul and you're the Mephisto, we don't get the 5-man wipe. We only get 4.
Exactly. Only 4. Not as good, but pretty good as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at our playoff bracket, see how things have unfolded from today's games. Grubby, I want to throw it over to you to break this down for us, please.
Yep, it's going to be a best of 5 in the lower bracket finals. Oxygen Esports against Wildheart. A rematch of the 2 closest ranked teams in the league in the upper echelon. And they already were 3-2 in the upper bracket round 1 as well. It's going to be sick. The winner of them gets the right to go up against 30k in a best of 7. Where, because 30k never lost the series yet in the playoff bracket, they will start with a 1-map advantage.
In this, it's a weighted best of 7. We can take a look at tomorrow's matches as well. And we'll be seeing, as I've been saying throughout the day, I'm so excited about tomorrow's matches, but Oxygen Esports versus Wildheart, 30k versus the winner of that Oxygen Wildheart matchup. Be sure to be here before the stream even starts tomorrow. I just want to see a bunch of Twitch chatters at like 10:30 a.m. PDT, just typing away, spamming, hanging out in Grubby's channel, hanging out in the Wisdom channel. I want to see that support because tomorrow is our grand finals day, Sunday, August 7th. You do not want to miss these games. These are going to be some absolute amazing best of 5 and a best of 7, but that is going to be our stream for today. So before we start to close things out, I do want to actually ask Grubby and Justing. I'm going to start with Justing. Any takeaways from today's matchups?
Madara might get his wish. 30k is looking extremely strong, but Wildheart is the team that I would be rooting for as my dark horse, as my underdog. We saw 30k go up against Oxygen, and Oxygen fell short. We'll see if after the matchup tomorrow, if either of those teams is going to be able to stack up against 30k, because right now it just feels like 30k against everyone else.
That's a really good way to put it. Grubby, any takeaways?
I feel the same way about that last statement. And about the first match, it's impossible to predict who's going to win that. Wildheart looked better and better from yesterday to today, till the later games. And of course, Oxygen, they're fantastic.
It's going to
be so close. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another 5-mapper.
I think tomorrow is going to be... I expect it to be 5 maps, and I'd like 6 maps for the best of 7. Obviously only 6 because of the weighted nature of that best of 7 series. But as you can see at the bottom of your screen, we are going to be back tomorrow, August 7th, Sunday, August 7th at 11 a.m. PDT, 2 o'clock EDT, and 20 CEST. Make sure to set an alarm in your respective time zone so we can see you here on the broadcast. And as well, to everyone at the Wisdom Gaming Studio, thank you so much for hanging out in Mall of America and checking out the live watch party at the Wisdom Gaming Studio. But of course, from the Wisdom family, the production crew, Justin, Grubby, and myself, we thank you so much for watching HeroesCCL, supporting the prize pool and these players. And until tomorrow morning, we'll see you in the Nexus. Good night.